All right. So we're here again with Chris. Say what's up, Chris. He's a little busy texting the fans and loved ones at home. It's a beautiful October day, and it's definitely November. Right? It's like 2 days post election day, and the weather was too beautiful to not be outside. You know, Chris came through. He just finished boxing. Right? You know, he does his thing in boxing and stuff. And right now we're watching the Manny Pacquiao Marquez fight. And I mean, you're a big boxing fan, no?
You know? Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm a casual watcher. Yeah, I appreciate the sport.
He's appreciated the shit out of the sport for mad long, and more than the average listener or viewer of boxing. And yeah, man, ever since I was in middle school and younger and knowing Chris for a long time, he's the one that always spoke about boxing. Ever since boxing, like before just the fights that are just with Mayweather and Pacquiao, like he was in depth with all fighters, all styles. I mean, you were the one talking about Gervonta Davis before Gervonta Davis, you know, talked about, and then Adrian Broner, you know, and Marquez, and all these people that, you know, are coming up and are stars now. I mean, Chris was sure probably, you know, on top of that when it was going out. So like, how'd you get into boxing?
So I've been into boxing since I was like a kid. Like when I was around 5-6 years old, my grandfather told me like, you know, hey, like you should definitely box. You have a lot of energy. And I was like, why not? Like, you know, I used to play fight with my cousins.
Yeah.
So then we just got into that, but I didn't really like take it seriously because again, I was a kid. So I basically stood boxing when I was like for like 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less than a year, not even a complete year. But I've done that. I've done karate. That's about it. Yeah, no. Boxing.
What'd you do karate? What the hell?
Ooh, I did karate when I was like 8 years old. This was after I did boxing. I did Tiger Showmans. I stood maybe for like yeah.
You were like,
yeah, I was like, yo, back the fuck up.
That's good. That's good to get a sense of self-defense and everything, you know?
Definitely.
And how do you feel now boxing? Like this is your returning to boxing?
Yeah. I had a little hiatus, like a little 2-year hiatus. Had like some personal things going on in my life, but I got that out the way. I got that resolved. Thank God, thank the universe.
Good.
But no, yeah. Now I'm back into boxing. Yeah. Thank myself. Yeah, as well. Yeah.
Like, you know, because you put yourself through things to get better from the past negative experiences. You know. Yeah. That's not easy, especially to do so and then put yourself in a situation where, like, you know, you're gonna get hit and hit back, and it's gonna be extraneous, you know, physically and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And how do you get through the workouts? Like, because I know boxing workout is a crazy motherfucking thing.
Nah, yeah. So basically, after my I would say like a 1.5 year hiatus, in between that time, I was just like, you know, eating freely. I was smoking, like, you know, just enjoying life, like, you know, as any normal person would. And so I basically go back like maybe a 1.5 months ago, almost 2 months ago.
Okay.
And like the first day back, I'm dying, like I'm wheezing. I'm like,
what are some things that make you do? Like, how do you train?
So you basically, so you start off running 15 to 20 minutes on the treadmill, either that or the elliptical. If that's all like occupied, then, you know, you go on the elliptical.
Okay.
After that, you
train in Brooklyn, no?
Yeah, in Dumbo, like the Gleason's gym.
Nice.
I say you guys, if this gets out, I recommend you guys hit up Gleason's gym, go support local businesses.
Always.
And they've been there, like, you know, they're a historic gym there. Like, they've been there for like years, like decades. Like,
I believe it.
Like,
I believe it.
50 plus years.
Yeah. And you're really happy with how they train you and everything?
Yeah. I like the environment. It's very welcoming. It's very professional, and nobody makes you feel like you're less than. You know, you can be a beginner, and somebody who's like, you know, an expert will treat you, you know, as if like, as if you're their equal.
That's important, man. That's super important.
Yeah, like there's no cocky guys there. There's like no bullies there. Like there's legitimately just like good vibes there at all times.
People trying to get better.
People trying to get better or help those around them. Yeah. So I like that kind of environment, and that's why I felt like I gravitated towards it, and I stood there. That's why I went back there to that same location. Have the same coach. His name is Jihad. Shouts out to Jihad. Shouts out to Jihad. But no, yeah. After that, so after you do like 15 to 20 minutes of the elliptical, you basically have to do shadow boxing. So you can do anywhere from 6 to 8 rounds of that. And my coach prefers to have me train with weights. So like 3-pound weights. You know, you do six rounds like that. Then you do like maybe an extra 3 rounds without the weights. And then and then we'll go hit the mitts. We'll do some drills. We'll do some pad work. We'll do other pad work as well, where he has it on his like body. And yeah, we usually end it off with the bag. Then we do speed bag. Then we do a little bit of ab workout. And then to top it all off, we usually end it with like around 6 rounds of like jump rope.
Good.
So a lot of the times it's literally just cardio. It's literally Because
that's what it is, but that's what it involves. You go into a boxing ring like Pacquiao's walking in right now.
Yeah.
And cardio. If you don't got the cardio up, like, that's the first thing you should have.
Yeah, that's definitely like cardio is gonna be your bread and butter. The easiest way to knock somebody out is when they're winded, because you know you're gasping for air. they're kind of like disoriented.
Not the wisest decision.
Yeah, it's not the wisest decision. Yeah, nobody realizes how out of shape they are or unconditioned they are up until they have to do something that.
100%.
Yeah, so then that's why like I had to stop doing all that. I had to like chill out with the smoking, chill out with the drinking, and yeah, man, it was definitely is fun.
That worked out to your benefit. Anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I heard people who talked about being in fights and they say that like, yo, you can fight for 30 seconds. That shit feels for like 10 days. And I can imagine like 3-minute rounds and 5-minute rounds in UFC and boxing and stuff like that. God damn.
Yeah, time is relative. Like, yeah, I definitely will say that, but like definitely you don't realize how long a minute is until you're like literally giving like your all within that 60 seconds and then having to keep that up for an extra 2 minutes and then
and you hear the side and tell you still got 50 seconds.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me, bro? I thought
I'm just like, bro,
right there.
you said this like half an hour ago. And it's just like, definitely that's why you have to get down your cardio. Yeah. I've definitely gotten back my cardio.
Good. That's one of the most beautiful things to have.
Yeah, cardio. Yeah, man.
What are your thoughts on all sports, and also not a lot, but the sports that consist of violence, that have violence within it? Because I'm not calling them violent sports, but they are like football, whether it be rugby or American football, boxing, UFC.
Yeah.
Any like sport or hockey. What do you think about
like combat
that?
sports?
Yeah.
Kind of like even though hockey's in combat, it's like.
Now, what are your thoughts on that? Like overall, the effect it has on the individual that isn't getting like $1 million health care, the ones that aren't the professionals. Because not for nothing, but like I sympathize and empathize less with those men and women because you guys got the access to the health care. Like it's like Trump getting the cure for the coronavirus, and he's like, oh, it's an easy thing to get rid of. But it's like, but you have access to really crazy shit, my friend. Like, so what about people? Even just like the minor leagues, what do you think about those people? And
I feel like whatever keeps your motor running, like you don't have to be the best at something in order to enjoy doing it. And I feel like that's something I learned over the quarantine. You don't necessarily have to be the best at what you do, so long as you enjoy it and you put in your all into it. Man, don't let nobody knock your happiness. Definitely in terms of like those like professionals and like minor leagues who don't get the same recognition or aren't getting the same bank, I say keep going, man. Definitely, like we all have a dream. We all like all we need is just one night of our lives to completely change like the course and the trajectory of our
100%.
lives. So it's just like man. But also I feel like these athletes also they do partake in the sport knowing all the risks and injuries that are associated with like stepping into it. Yeah, you're compensated, but even though not everyone is compensated equally, it's like. Yeah, you definitely are like well aware of the risks. Like it's no surprise that with hockey or with like football or with like boxing or like MMA, there's gonna be some sort of head like brain related injury. I mean it's blows. It's blows, So man, hats off to those. I don't care if you're like the #1 pound for pound or you're like 1,047, man. It does take a lot. It takes a lot of heart to like get into a ring with somebody who just wants to knock your head off, and it's completely legal for 3 minutes. Again, I give it to anybody.
Nobody's stopping that shit to the ref for justifiable reasons.
Yeah.
You better be almost dead. That's
And I guess sports are I enjoy that. I do like that it's a metaphor for life. Again, like you are literally fighting for your life. Like you decide the life you get to want to live, and I do like that about sports. It's just like how much work are you willing to put in order to get what you want out.
Because at that point, it's exactly what you worked for. Like
legit.
Luck is there. There's a little bit of this and that. But when there's more skill, there's less luck.
Yes. And also, apart from that, like, what was I gonna say? You can't cheat the hustle. You can't cheat the grind. You can't be like, oh yeah, like today I'm just just gonna chill out, or like for this week I'm chilling. It's like, man, it's all up to you.
Yeah, exactly.
You can lie to yourself, to your mind, but you can't lie to your body. It's like once you go back into doing said activity, you're definitely gonna notice a difference in your performance.
I like that you say that you can't cheat the hustle. That you can't just get these like almost powers that you get from putting in the work. Focusing on centers in your body, growing them as you would your other muscles in your body.
Yeah.
It's just it all takes work, time, and just you not sitting down. You
dedication.
Actually going to the
Yeah.
And so I think that's dope. I mean, I also know you played football in high school and everything.
Yeah.
And the reason I asked about like the physical hitting sports and stuff like that is because I think it has a very special negative impact, right? But it's just never. I don't think there's a lot of connection to younger people because a lot of myself and I think other people like men that played sports, like, especially in high school when they're coming up and everything. I was kind of happy when I stopped playing football. You know what I mean? I was kind of happy because it was just like I was getting hurt. Like, you know, it was. It wasn't that I didn't mind getting hit or hitting, but even in the NFL, they don't hit each other 7 days a week, 5 days a week. You know, and they're grown ass men, and they've been hitting each other forever. And I get that shit. But it's also this like wicked thing of like, you know, there's days where I did have a long day, and the one thing I don't want to do is get hit by this grown ass man. You know, and just because and
20-degree weather too, man. You're like, yo, those were the worst.
These are really crazy conditions. Exactly. And it's fun to do shit like that. It's fun. It's fun to be wild, but. The one thing that I did notice was that I needed my sanity back. And I remember like our last game where we were like, you know, going back, like when we finished that game, we were going back. Like part of me was like, thank God, like, you know, like I don't have to put myself through really harsh conditions and bad things. And nobody was ever going to address that because the long-term problems that come with that, not that I'm like, you know, broken or anything, but it doesn't connect at all because it's post high school and post like 2 years, 3 years after high school. So any issues you have afterwards, it's like, oh, it's because you're going through some shit right now, not because you got hit back then. But bro, I got hit for 4 years straight in a row, and not only with football but lacrosse, and I see that you're doing that now, and like people actually punching you, and for some reason I just see boxing a little safer than football, just a little, and not in the craziest manner, but I mean like you can get hit in a pile of football, break your arm 3 different ways, and people just jumping on and shit. At least in boxing, like you get knocked the fuck out, you're not going nowhere else, you're on the floor and you're gonna stay. And so I think it's dope. I think it's a dope thing to talk about because I think a lot of men don't want to talk about their fear of getting hit or their fear of being in a sport where they feel intimidated. What are your thoughts about that? Like, how do you not only overcome that, but maybe you think about you don't want to be in a situation. Marcus just got knocked the fuck down.
I personally feel like the best way to overcome a fear is like literally, as toxic as it sounds and as like counterproductive as it sounds, the best way to like overcome your fear is literally just throw yourself to the pool.
That's what
throw yourself to the fire. Like,
I agree with that. 100%.
Like nobody enjoys getting hit in the head. Like nobody is like, yeah, let me just go get hit for free or because I enjoy getting hit. Like man, you're a lunatic. Even some of the fighters, like George St. Pierre. I was watching an interview with him recently, I think where he was on Joe Rogan podcast.
Nice.
And even though he's arguably recognized as probably like the greatest MMA fighter,
and what's his name?
George St. Pierre, GSP.
Nice.
He's really nice, undefeated. Like I'm talking about, like crazy. Middleweight. I believe he moved up to light heavyweight, and yeah, he made I think 10 or 13 successful title defenses.
Jesus Christ!
But it's just like he even said it himself. He's arguably recognized as the best. But when people asked him like, "Hey, do you enjoy fighting?" He was like, "Hell no."
Yeah.
He was like, "I hate fighting. I don't enjoy doing this."
Yeah, he knows why he has to do it though.
Yeah, but it's just like. Again, like the best way to get over your fear is just throw yourself in it, fully immerse yourself in it.
I think one example I like to use is Rob Gronkowski. Now, because Rob Gronkowski, he chose to retire for a bit. Obviously, he's with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now. Yeah. But look at people like him, like Andrew Luck, who retired at 30. Yeah. You know, and they dip, and they said, hey, like maybe I made enough money already. Like you think about the contracts, like Tony Romo gets, or like what's his name on the Cowboys now?
Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I know it's ACL or some shit like that, whatever.
But his foot, I think it was just like a clean
I seen
split.
Yeah, I seen it. It felt terrible for this guy. What I'm trying to say though is that you see how much money he's getting paid, and like how much. And I understand why he like was saying like I need more. Yeah,
man, it's
like,
a brutal sport, man.
Yeah, yes, it is. But the thing is like, why do we play for so long? Why is this guy James Harrison? Excuse me. Playing still, he's like 40-something years old. You know what I mean?
For the love of the game, man.
No doubt, no doubt.
And you can't knock anybody for that. Like
not at all.
Like, and it's unfortunate that some people, like some people, like, and I commend people who would rather die on their shield as opposed to like like just quitting and like I
think Adesanya, he says like I'm ready to die before I fight. Like he's like I'm ready to die in the ring because now like I'm putting it all on the line. Yeah. But I also what I'm trying to say is that like there's just this weird like justification of doing something you don't want to do, especially when you're proclaimed like Tom Brady, you know what I mean? But Tom Brady doesn't get hit as much as like a linebacker does. But I just want you to think of like the voices that aren't being heard, and I also want you to think about the college players that get paralyzed from the neck down, and they don't walk for the rest of their lives.
They're not insured by the same. Like,
and what they get dragged out on the field. Everybody's They maybe get a couple bills paid for, but 20 years later, ain't nobody give a fuck about you. And nobody give a fuck about you. And aside to say, you can go back to school, get some free tickets, but can you walk again? And why is this happening in the sport of football? Because one thing I wanted to say earlier is that when I was playing football with like other people and in general, like padded up and stuff like that, these are a lot of developing personalities that are also taking out their rage and stuff, into other people. So I just think there's like football is very dangerous, you know?
Definitely.
Very dangerous, and I just don't think it should be given, you shouldn't give people opportunity to do it if the whole idea of it's not going to be taken serious, if the safety's not going to be taken serious. So,
Yeah.
you know, how many torn ACLs that we have, you know? It's ridiculous, and you get hurt by not going full speed. You get hurt by wrong form and being scared, you know, and so there's this ideology that's not being practiced with young upcoming athletes, I think, especially in physical sports. But I don't disagree with you with all the love and the passion, because I think that's like a given. Because if you're getting yourself knocked the fuck out on live national television or just no crowd at all, clearly you love the shit you do. But I'm just saying that the NFL does a lot of lying about who's getting hurt. And when I see people like Andrew Luck and Gronkowski retiring, especially because of things like, oh, I don't feel happy anymore, it's a big problem, man. It's a big problem.
And there's also the risk of like CTE, brain injuries.
Yeah, when you're older,
that's a real thing, man.
Yeah, that's 100% a real thing.
Alzheimer's developing in the future. And I don't blame anybody for like getting their millions and walking out. It's like, man, do you get your bag? Nobody's gonna care about you. Pretty sure your fans will, but they're not gonna be by your bedside every night. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
they'll definitely be cheering for you, and there'll be a couple that love you, but you're not their family. This is not talking shit about no. I love sports so much. I'm happy that it's like coming up again. I've been watching so much UFC lately because of my good friend Tim, who'll be here in a second. And you're the reason I watch boxing. I have not mentioned Lomachenko fight. I watched the Gervonta Davis fight. I watched everything.
Did you watch that fight?
Oh my god, Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, Teofimo Lopez,
it was so
and like
good. And I was a little upset about the outcome. I mean, there's a lot of
really.
Yeah.
So, what did you score the fight, or how did you? Who would you have, if you were a judge? Who would you have given the decision to?
Let me start with this. I think I can see I see everybody's reason after everything, right? The one thing I'll bring up is that judge who scored at the whole
like
thing,
what, like 118 to like 109. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That to me is like, why does this always happen in boxing? And when I finished the outcome of the fight, at least it should have been a draw for me. But I can see how Teofimo Lopez won. Like, he really was a brutal guy to Lomachenko, and Lomachenko didn't show up to the fourth round, which he always does.
Not even. He showed up the second half of the fight.
Yeah, basically. And then so for me, like, I can see it leaning towards it, but there's a lot of little things that bother me. And it was amazing to watch, just in period, because I haven't seen Lomachenko fight in forever. And I think Tim over here was the reason that you talked about Lomachenko all the time. And then I was a big fan of him, and I was really rooting for him, so my heart broke in half.
I was going for Lomachenko. I'm always gonna support a Brooklyn guy, like, and he's our age. He's from Brooklyn. Yeah, he's a Brooklyn guy. He's our age, so it's just like literally
took a break from boxing to practice like traditional dancing.
Lomachenko. Yeah, this guy, his father put him in fucking ballet. And you can obviously tell that worked out for him. Just look at his footwork. His footwork is phenomenal. It's sensational. Yeah.
It's actually really incredible. At this point, Manny Pacquiao has knocked down Marquez 3 times.
Yeah, at this point, this is their first encounter. This is, I believe, Pacquiao knocked down Marquez 2 to 3 times.
Jesus Christ. All right, well, this is gonna be a first.
Hey,
Chris has been here for a while.
How you doing, bro?
Tim is also great to have on the show. So I think it's with a nice back check. I'm sorry about that. I don't have this way.
Daddy want to do an intermission? I got you this though.
Yeah?
You can open it up on the show.
Oh shit.
Yeah, bro.
We got a white bag. Yeah, looking at it right now.
That shit came in today. Perfect.
What is this right here?
It's good, Chris.
It's good, bro. How you been? I like your beard. You looking like Mahat Pandey kind of guy.
Like I'm in a relationship, bro.
That's crazy. Yeah,
oh, that's so dope.
Yes, bro.
Yo, shout out to this man right here. Ex-president.
Dogface.
Yeah,
That's the type of energy I'm trying to have.
Thank you. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, bro.
That's fucking nice of you, bro. Thank you. What the fuck?
So like, he just vibes, bro.
Yo, I'm about to put this shit on.
Yo,
right
I have
now.
everything but papers.
I don't have papers.
I have fucking blood.
We got all the weed in the world. We got no papers. I might run to the desert get some papers. Yo,
You could just have him run here. Just deliver it. Just be like, yo.
Postmates.
We
About to
could
get
do that.
sponsored.
I bought a rock paper, bro.
I'm gonna go down to my apartment. Not that I live here. And I'm gonna get I'm gonna get raw papers.
Yeah,
I'll be right back. Tim and Chris.
So it's recording.
Yeah.
We live.
We live.
What fight y'all watch?
This is the first fight with Pacquiao and Marquez.
Who won? Pacquiao?
Yeah, Pacquiao by decision. Yeah, this guy got knocked down like again. I give it to Marquez. He got knocked down like 3 times in round 1, twice in round 1.
Still won?
Yeah, he still Pacquiao won.
Okay.
But that was a given. Like, he was the aggressor. This was like Pacquiao coming into his prime. But he was mentioning that you watch UFC. Did you watch did you watch that fight recently? Which one was it?
All of them.
All of them.
All of them, bro. Back-to-back weeks, bro. Are you talking about not the one that just happened, which was Uriah Hall?
Did you watch the Khabib and Gaethje fight? Yeah, that was really upsetting.
What you thought about Gaethje?
Gaethje, to be honest, I'm not even a casual watcher. I would just watch like when like the big names fight, like Khabib. Like Khabib, I'd been keeping up with because I was just like, oh, all right, like
Undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated, and then like his wrestling is like highly respected, and it's just like, yo, it literally speaks for himself. It's like once he has you on the ground, it's just like, yeah, and it's just like, and then like I feel like he's an enigma to an extent because it's just like, man, who the hell has their kid at like 6 years old wrestling a fucking bear? It's like, that's some Russian shit. It's just like, what? It's like
hardcore, all that.
Yeah.
And then he nigga retired undefeated.
Undefeated, yeah.
Bro.
So
without a cut, he never bled too. Never bled. Lost, I think, 2 rounds.
Yeah.
One to Conor, one to Quinta.
Never got knocked down, you said, right?
Him?
Yeah, like knocked him down, like
never.
from a hit.
I don't know if he ever got knocked down, but he's never bled.
That's a wild. That's a pretty
In a UFC fight,
yeah, that's wild.
To never bleed, bro. Boxing's understandable if you're like coming up and shit.
Yeah, it's just like. So all right, cool. So I feel like there's like a lot of arguments with like him retiring now. John Jones is like, yo, like like you're definitely not #1 in like history. He's like, probably the only person who can match up against me, or like one can make an argument for is like
John Jones or Khabib?
George St. Pierre. Yeah, because like apparently like when he retired, he was like the #1 pound for pound fighter in like the UFC, and like John Jones was like #2 or 3, and he wasn't like, I guess that didn't sit well with him. It's just like how are you calling this guy the GOAT, but he's only fought in like 1, maybe 2 weight divisions. He's maybe like only defended his title like maybe 3 times, 4 times successfully.
But
and John Jones, he's like, this is just him. Like, I don't follow the sport as much as you do, or I'm assuming you do. But it's just like he made pretty valid arguments. He was like, I moved up from like heavyweight to heavyweight. Like, I'm fighting bigger hitters. I'm fighting more competition. I have like bigger opposition against me, and like I have 15 successful title defenses. And the only losses I have came from disqualification, and I believe like a no contest or something like that.
Where he got tested.
Yeah, where like for like some roids and shit like that. Like I don't know if you've been following him for way back, but like how do you feel about that? Like who is like the greatest like
all UFC fighters?
Yeah, who like is it like is it Khabib like some people say? Is it like what's his name? GSP?
GSP.
Yeah.
It's Adesanya, bro. Israel Adesanya. That's #1 right there. Nah, I fuck with him. I think
that's the Nigerian fighter, right?
Yeah, that's the Stylebender. Fuck it. I fuck with him, but John Jones, I feel like he's #1.
John Jones,
he's
like
#1.
of all time?
Of all time, bro. I think right now Khabib's #1. Khabib's #1. But like you retired without like
undefeated.
He didn't fight Tony Ferguson. Like you know who?
Yeah, I know who Tony Ferguson is.
He didn't fight him, bro. When they were supposed to fight, I think Tony would have cooked him.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Even though
I don't know.
Yeah.
After what Khabib did to Justin Gaethje, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
He looked unstoppable to anybody, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like I feel like his wrestling is unmatched, and it's respected.
That's a real man, bro. Bro, that's a real man. Like the way he looked at Gaethje and it was like, nah, keep hitting me. Like he kept pressuring him and he had him running, bro. You had a whole nother UFC fighter running.
It's fucking wild. Yeah, man. Like I definitely respect that, and it's just like, nah, man, how do you stop someone who's like literally like undefeated on the ground? So like, yeah. And I feel like he has so much respect for his ground game that it leaves your punching game wide open. And like that's why like when I was watching the Conor and McGregor fight, when he faked the double leg sweep and then he caught him with an overhand right, I was just like, yo, bro, it's just like you're worried about both because he has dynamite in both hands, and it's just like if he gets you down, you're not gonna back up. So it's just like. But you honestly like, so you believe like, again, like I don't watch it as much as you do, but you believe John Jones is like #1 of all time?
But do you really think Mayweather is the best boxer in the world?
Best boxer? I think he's the best defensive fighter.
Boxer ever.
I believe he's the best defensive fighter. I feel like I would probably give that title to. I would definitely want to give it to either like I'd give it to like a. I give it to Pacquiao. I feel like I'm kind of biased.
Oh yeah?
Even though he got knocked out. Yeah.
Best boxer ever?
Best, yeah, in my opinion, yeah. Like this is all subjective. You have to remember that. Like it's not objective truth. It's subjective. I believe it's Pacquiao. I feel like it's really hard to like argue against.
But argue it though. What's your
make an argument? Like 50-0, like that's impressive. Like regardless, like yeah. And he adapted pretty well. And it's just like I think going undefeated is like it's a feat on its own. It's just like you are literally like undefeated. Nobody could like crack your code, and it's just like
I mean, that's true. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Like his performance did decline over age. Mayweather's just kept. It was just right in that plateau. It was just like
he didn't stop.
He didn't stop.
Was it Shane Mosley? Was it Shane Mosley that hit him a couple times?
Yeah, that was probably like no. I think the cleanest hit was with Maidana.
Maidana was the cleanest hit. That's the bet when the round started.
Yeah. So basically, I guess like Maidana had realized he got too comfortable, where it's like where he slips back, like like he'll let the opponent jab, he'll either parry it, catch it, slip back, and then he'll go with the straight right.
Why was Maidana so good? I know for the reasons you just said. But.
It's real like so. There's a saying that says like styles make fights. And it's just like if you're not used to if you're used to fighting a conventional boxer, you can get used to that. All right, cool. They're going to what's the word? They're just gonna box me. They're just gonna be around a circle. But it's just like if you have somebody punching you from different angles, I think it's hard to see it. Like it's hard to
because you don't have eyes that like that. You want this? It's delicious. It's a little sweet, but I think I'm out.
Cool, thanks.
No problem. Sorry for the little disruption. But what were you guys talking about?
Oh, we were talking about UFC, John Jones.
Yeah. For any UFC fans there, any violence fans out there, there's a lot of violence going on professionally.
You shot that day?
Huh?
You shot that day?
That day on the election? Yeah. I was up here cold as fuck on the election. I had my little, it was just a little bundled up thing, but it was good. It was fun because it was a challenge. These two guys are amazing. You know, I know my voice just cracked, but they're great people, and I think it was really important for me to ask both of them to be here at the same time because not only are they really great friends of mine, and I just think their opinions on things are really important, but I think that you guys are very different personalities in like not very different worlds, but you both stem from New York City. You guys have that, New York, that Brooklyn, in you, stuff like that, and I just want to how can I say, being that we're in an election time, right? And I'm not going to talk about politics and all this stuff. But how do you feel the world's gonna be like amongst yourselves in the sense next year, in the following, and not government-wise, politics-wise, like for you in particular, like moving forward, put government aside. How are you guys looking forward to next year? What are you looking forward to? Anything exciting? Like any goals you're trying to reach? Because fuck the president. I don't care who wins. And it's the truth.
We probably won't find out too for like another week.
Yeah, and it sucks. But I care more about what's up with you guys. The reason I asked it so complicated is I didn't know what I was asking in the beginning. but I want to know. I genuinely want to know. And how you guys gonna go by doing that? How you gonna? It doesn't have to be specific, but what are some challenges that you want to bring upon yourselves going into the year of masks and hopefully a new president?
I'll go first. So basically, all I'm hoping for next year is just growth. That's all I'm looking for. Growth.
Okay.
Definitely just trying to be a better person than who I was the day before. And all I'm hoping for is just I'm looking forward to my first sparring session again. It's fun.
Yeah, you can't spar right now, right?
Yeah, you can't spar because
why not?
Governor Cuomo said it's not allowed. Gyms are going to the gym is one thing. Actually, coming into contact with somebody face to face, apparently it's a different.
Because there's blood involved.
There's blood. Yeah. There's heavy breathing, and it's just yeah.
There's no way you can do that safely.
Yeah. So he's just I guess petitioned against it, so it's not allowed. But I'm looking forward to that. Goals, I'm gonna start streaming soon. I'm gonna start doing.
Yeah, you mentioned something about that.
Yeah, so basically, a game I play, Apex, pretty lit. They just released season 7, so
I heard it's crazy nice.
Yeah, I heard this is possible. It's definitely my favorite, top 2 favorite map so far. So I can't wait to do that. Other than that, nah, man. I just hope to just enjoy doing what I'm doing. I told you recently I really wanted to start a food vlog because all I do is go out and all I do is fucking eat. And I have friends
definitely eat better than most of us.
Yeah, I definitely have friends telling me all the time, yo, where's this at? Where's this at? Where are you eating? What is this called? Yo, do you have it? And it feels nice, when people come up to me, they're like, yo, I value your opinion. Where should I go? So yeah, I definitely want to do that. Definitely just want to see where that goes. I don't have any high expectations. I just want to do it. Just put it out there for entertainment. Just put out content because I feel like right now is the perfect time to do it. Because right now, everybody's watching right now. You can't do anything. You're gonna be at home the whole time. You might as well give something
effort
for people to watch. Yeah. Whether it's music, whether it's video game streaming, whether it's boxing, whether it's movies, films, even this podcast, or whatever you would like to title this. Just a conversation, yeah.
I think that's amazing. I think you got to start somewhere, and once you do, it just goes from then on out. And if it wasn't gonna work out to begin with, it wasn't going to. But I think it's the fact that if it isn't gonna work out, if you love it enough, you'll make it work out. Yeah. You'll get over those obstacles, and that's what's beautiful about challenging ourselves because. The most amazing outcomes come when we're challenged, especially when it's for things that we love, like fighting for your family or working on a project you're passionate about. These amazing effects of pressure sprout some of the most amazing things. And I love pressure. I'm a really big fan of it.
Yeah, I love pressure.
It's great. It really is. It pushes me forward because it makes you feel alive. It makes you feel like your heart is racing a little faster and
Adrenaline, chip on your shoulder.
yeah, and like I'm gonna put in work for whatever it is. I don't care if it's an essay, if it's a final game, if it's this thing you want to be better as a person. That pressure is super crucial. And sometimes when it's not present, I don't find myself to go forward. Sometimes I needed that so much where I was just remaining still waiting for it. And I think it's when I do things like this, shout out to Bad Bunny, when I do things like this, the pressure is inevitable. You get what I'm trying to say? And so I absolutely love coronavirus. Because that is the most pressure in the world.
Right, son. My bad.
Nah, we're going to heal from you.
Oh, goddamn. Yo, first of all, I think that concert that Bunny did on the bus was dope.
Oh, yeah. What was he around? New York, LA?
Something like that.
Bronx. He was in the Bronx.
Oh,
Charles, that's fucking lit.
I ain't been there in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What about you, Tim? How you been?
Yeah,
Like,
man.
you still play ball? Like, I remember you were fucking
Yo,
dope.
Steph Curry is still here. No matter what.
I play ball, but not so often.
Not as much as you used to?
Yeah, bro, they really took down the rims, bro.
Where at?
Really?
Remember?
I know, but they take it down still.
Where did they take it off?
No, they took it out every part, everywhere.
Literally, like McGoldrick, like literally all these
Yeah,
parts?
McGoldrick, Karen.
I don't know.
Why?
I didn't know
You
it was
go to
open.
What?
You still go to the Y? Is the Y still there? I haven't been
Nah,
there.
they're closed too though, but it's still closed too. The gym's still closed. I think it's just the hotel's open.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I remember when I found out the Wild was a hotel. I was like, what?
Wait, the Y is a hotel?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not that
remember
crazy.
upstairs? You know how
I never really thought much of it.
Yeah.
I literally just thought it was like,
It's like I don't. It's just a room and a shower, right? It's nothing crazy. It's just like
so it's in a hotel or a motel?
I guess hotels is the YMCA. You know what I mean? I don't know how that makes any sense.
Wow.
Hotel's kind of trashy, and honestly, the YMCA is trashy.
That was fun though.
But Tim boxes actually, and he doesn't box like professionally. But I know Tim likes to put on the gloves, and he's a big fan. And so being someone you never had a
Where
professional
do you
class.
spar? Nah.
Where I spar?
Actually, I had it, but at this MMA gym right here.
Well, up the block.
Oh, you talking about the one right here, up the block?
They had like a free class, so I did it like one day.
That's so dope. What the fuck?
I do it at Gleason's. I definitely recommend you guys.
This is Graham, right?
No, it's underneath the Dumbo Bridge. It's in it's in Dumbo. It's underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. Yeah, the Brooklyn's a Manhattan Bridge. Yeah, but I mean it has a nice view, and the trainers are nice. The equipment is nice. You definitely feel like you're in a boxing gym. If it was old school, it feels like, oh, okay, this is like a boxing gym. Yeah, it's not like it's not like an Equinox type shit. It's like nah, this is a gym. Like, this is like a free weights. There's like mats. There's like punch bags. It's like
official type shit.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
I think to get in your element, especially to have the tools to get in your element and everything is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, super.
And it definitely makes you feel more confident. It makes you feel more assured of yourself. And yeah, you just feel like, oh, okay, cool. Like, you know, a danger is like, you know, ahead of itself. Hey, I at least know I can like defend myself.
Yeah, that's more important than anything in this whole world, honestly. Because you gotta just carry that on your shoulder, your heart, and everything. And
Yeah.
I don't know. People like talk a lot of shit and don't know at all what to do physically. You know, if it came down to that, not that it has to come down to that.
Yeah.
And always protect yourself.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a nice little calm day. Except for Manny Pacquiao and Marquez fucking each other.
So who'd win? Manny Pacquiao or Conor McGregor?
Hands down.
They're
Pacquiao.
boxing, right?
They might.
Crazy.
Yeah, hands down Pacquiao. Like this guy is like he's a legitimate boxer. Like this guy is a legitimate fighter too. And it's just like this guy doesn't look like he's slowed down. Like obviously his output.
Who Pacquiao just beat? That was not surprising.
It was some random guy.
Who'd he beat?
No, he beat like a 30-year-old guy.
Oh, really? I thought he would just give him the right day.
Ponytail. He beat him for the belt.
Keith Thurman.
Keith Thurman.
Why does that sound like a sports announcer?
Yeah. Keith Thurman was a great boxer too. He definitely was in his prime, like maybe like 3-4 years ago. But then I believe he had like a shoulder injury. So then he just had like I think he had a rotator cuff injury, so he had to like stay out for like a year or so. And then like the pandemic came. Oh no, I think this is prior to the pandemic actually. So there's like I can't even say that. But yeah, man, like when you're out of boxing or when you're out like not doing anything and you're out like when you're on a layoff. Like you guys would know. Like you're not your performance isn't the same as if you're consistently doing it.
I was gonna say no, I'm not saying that. But I think it was very interesting that because I don't believe boxing is corrupt fully. You know, a lot of people like to say it is, and there is like I'm sure there's examples and blatant evidence out there. But I just think when I thought along the lines of corruption in boxing and stuff, I figured like
that's money.
Yeah, and I also
That's a real thing, I think.
Yes,
I believe it is.
yes,
too.
and they even bet on the election and stuff. But I thought about like
What? There were bets for the election?
definitely. It kept fluctuating throughout the whole night.
Shit.
The numbers. But I think of how much more interesting Lopez and Davis of a fight that is. You know, imagine that instead of what was the guy who fought Davis? What's his name?
Fucking what's his name? Leo Santa Cruz.
Leo Santa Cruz and Lomachenko. Like, you know, like what would have been a more exciting fight? What's more?
Oh, definitely Lopez and Davis. Yeah, they both box and they both have like punching power in both hands.
They talk mad shit.
Yeah.
They talk. Yo, the disrespect Lopez was putting on Lomachenko's name. He's like, I don't give a fuck who that is. You know, I'm just gonna knock him the fuck out.
But Lomachenko fucking moved up in weight though. He fought a bigger man.
That's what you told me.
And
that's
you obviously saw it on Fight Night. Like Lopez was obviously he was visually the bigger man.
I thought it was a tie.
It could have been mentioned. Davis actually was way bigger than the Santos was.
Yeah, Davis was way bigger than Santa Cruz.
That's kind of crazy. I don't know.
Wait, Davis was bigger than who? I think Davis fought him to prepare for Ryan Garcia. Fight a long, lengthy dude.
Oh, I forgot about Ryan Garcia.
Yeah,
he's still nice and very much a boxer, right?
And undefeated. Got a knockout. Maybe last year was his last fight.
He's nice with it.
Ended up with a knockout. Super nice with it, bro.
I be seeing his videos on Instagram where he just boxed in the air, and I'm like, goddamn, boy.
He's going mad fast, bro.
He be putting in work.
Nah, I think they're gonna fight 2021, bro.
I didn't even think about that. If I'm being honest with you, I did not know who Dos Santos was at all. Like, I've never heard of him.
Like I've known the guy. Like I've heard of him. Like I knew he was respected, but it was just like again, I don't think there's like much recognition. Like fighters who have the recognition. I believe he was moving up from like. I would
like
say
fights
like
at that point.
I don't even want to say featherweight, like lightweight.
Tank fought him though to get his belt back. Because he moved down in weight. Tank moved down in weight.
Oh, so he had to give up his.
Yeah, because like on the Conor McGregor Mayweather card, he was supposed to fight and he didn't make weight, so he lost that belt. And I think he went down just say like, yo, that's my belt. I'm gonna win it real quick, and then I'll come back to 135 and then. You know, whoever wants to fight me, bro. Lopez is at 135.
I honestly don't see that fight happening at lightweight, maybe at light welterweight, because it's just like they both outgrown that weight.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
He's too big for that weight class. And I feel like the same thing with Gervonta. Gervonta has like maybe what, 1-2 more fights at lightweight.
You think so?
I see him. Yeah, these boxers are big, but like that's what they do. They'll cut like 15 pounds and then rehydrate the same night.
I heard cutting weight sucks ass.
Cutting weight is it's really terrible. Like
it's the worst thing.
It is literally the worst thing ever.
Why?
Because
I know nothing about.
So when you cut weight, you're basically think about it like this: you're naturally like 150 pounds, and you're trying to make weight for 135 pounds. So imagine like just trying to like be as slim and like as like full of like nothing as possible, but still like carry the power and the muscles with you, and that's really hard. It's just like it takes a lot out of you. Like some people won't drink water, some people will skip meals. Yeah, like one person actually, I think a lady in Thailand actually died from like cutting too much weight. There was another fighter I was reading on ESPN. I believe he was a UFC fighter. I'm good, bro. Thank you. I believe there was a UFC fighter who like legit passed out, and he almost had like I believe a seizure because he was cutting too much weight as well. And it's just like like it's dangerous.
That's a real thing. Yeah,
it's a real thing.
Fighters, they cut it like even worse.
Yeah, definitely.
Recently, Masvidal tried to lose. Like I think when he fought what's his face,
Usman.
Yeah, recently when he fought Usman, he took the fight on like a week's, maybe 6 days notice, and he had to lose 20 pounds in a week.
Yes.
Like, that's fucking crazy. Yeah. I know hockey goalies lose like 15 pounds in a game, but that's through sweat.
Yeah, that's through sweat. Like now imagine like doing this every single day up. Like imagine trying to lose weight for like 6 days straight. Like no eating, barely any drinking, like having to be in a sauna.
And then you gotta feel strong at the fight.
And you still gotta work out. Yeah, like because there's no other way.
Yeah, you can't stop your muscle growth or like your muscle.
Yeah, so imagine all that, doing all of that to your body, and then trying to like gain all of that back in like maybe less than 24 hours, and expect to like perform. Yeah, that's why I'm like I used to like not be a fan of catch weights until like I fully understood what like cutting weight was and like how much of an advantage you can have. Just think about it, like
because you're bigger. And
you're just naturally going to be the bigger guy. Like hence like Lopez and like Lomachenko. You obviously saw Lopez was the bigger guy.
Yeah, he had longer reach.
Yeah, like you saw him on fight night. You saw him on the weigh-in night, and you saw how like he looked really skinny. He looked like he was in great shape, but he looked really skinny. You see him the next night, fight night, and he just looks normal. He looks 15, 20 pounds heavier.
That's interesting.
That's
interesting.
Yeah, and it's all for an advantage.
They know it. At that point,
that's why like I don't frown upon people who want to use catch weights anymore, because it's just like, nah, man, this is my health. I believe like if you're a champion, you have the right to call the shots. Yeah.
What was it that they say they use now?
Catch weights. Catch weights where it's like, so we're gonna wait like, so if we have if we're fighting at a 145 pound limit, you're not allowed, like, during the weigh-in, you have to weigh 145 pounds, and come fight night, like, maybe like 30 minutes before the fight, you still have to weigh the same amount. You can't get any higher.
If you do, we gotta stop the fight?
If you do, you risk forfeiting your belt, if there is one on the line, and you have to pay fines. Like, I think...
We're shooting, and we're rolling. Anyway, now we're just shadows at this point. But my question was gonna be this. I was going on about the UFC, basically just doing things in a way where if you're a fighter who's good, you're gonna fight somebody else who's good. Yeah. Not next year, not because of this excuse, not because of, you know, Mayweather excuse, Pacquiao excuse, with now Tribago and everything. No, it's literally like, oh no, you're gonna fight this guy, blah blah. And I think there's been like steroids and about, you know, nothing's perfect. But when I was watching the Lomachenko fight, I was really excited because I just know he's a skilled fighter. Like he's somebody who's gonna put on a show, you know. And but I have to wait for that always when the talent is there. And I know you can't be fighting a boxing match every single week. Duh, you can't do that. But I just think it's like you're stripped of admiring the sport, especially in a time where media goes so fast and everywhere, by making people wait next year pay Pacquiao and Mayweather for this and that. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily love that. I know right now they were doing a whole 6 thing of matches, right? It was like for a championship and everything. Yeah. But I just think in the past we only talked about boxing when it was going on, but we talked more about why the matches were being avoided. Yeah. In my opinion. So that's through my knowledge. I think UFC is just dope because it really is a sport and boxing is business.
I feel like boxing got too many belts.
Yeah.
It just also puts people in that position where like you don't have to fight the best fighter or the #1 contender because you are the champ.
Yeah.
But they have to come to you and then you can pick and choose who you're gonna fight and everything.
Yeah.
Like I know they fought, maybe Gervonta Davis fought this guy through Mayweather Productions. Like it was
yeah.
And then
he's his protege, yeah.
And then but they also held the venue. The show was through them. I think like Pretty Boy Productions is De La Hoya and everything, and he does shows too for Mexican boxers and stuff like that. And you get what I'm trying to say? There's a lot of like stamp a sticker on it. Where in the UFC it's like Dana White is gonna do this, blah 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 blah. And then these motherfuckers are bleeding. You know, like,
but Dana White has like a good system.
Yeah, he is.
I feel like if boxing has that same system, you'll get fucking fights like Gervonta Davis against fucking Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, fucking Lopez. Like,
no, I agree with you, and I just think it doesn't happen often. So what are your thoughts on that? Because you have a little more background in knowing. I know you're a big Mayweather fan, which I've always loved. You know what I mean? Because we really respect his thing. But I know, like, I for me in particular, I was just frustrated about how he handled things. And I'm not the wisest person on boxing and everything, right? But how do you think Mayweather handled his business decisions? And did that ruin the sport?
I feel like the perfect way to describe Mayweather is with the Jay-Z line where he was like, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman.
All right, yeah.
Like this guy literally took his earnings and he flipped it. And like this guy,
you like Conor McGregor?
I think he's a little annoying sometimes. I think post when you look at it after, he's annoying, but during he's a genius. You know what I mean?
I think he's one of those characters where like kind of feel it doesn't feel good hating him because it's just like, you know, all that trash talk and all that disrespect. It's like, damn, somebody beat him the fuck up, please.
Exactly.
That's why that Khabib fight was like really like yes. It was like, you know, I never wish death upon anybody.
No.
Yeah, like obviously like I don't want anybody to get hurt, but I was just like, man, somebody shut him the fuck up, please. I was like, please. And then Khabib was just like pounding on him. But no, yeah, I respect McGregor, like what he's done. But no, yeah, man.
I think he made people get more involved in the UFC, that's how I look at Trump. I look at him as like, I keep saying this to myself and other people, that he is the reason why a lot of people are involved in politics. And he is the reason why the people who've always been, who actually, let me say this, who've never been present politically or active politically, had the knowledge about it and are now active, are doing that because of Trump, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Like the smartest people that we know who are going to try to be in politics, they have to voice their opinions in a more different way to get to us because this guy has made it that this is the way he's going to communicate to us. He's the reason Twitter is a government-based communication system. The government could deadass just come up with the whole social media for themselves, you know, and then give us information to that. Like they could do that in a second. Yeah. But they said, oh wait, it makes more sense to do it through Twitter because then there's no fingers to point there. You know, there's no fingers at all to point there. There's no blame on the government because you're speaking freely. You get what I'm trying to say? And so I think like Trump he got everybody and made you pay attention. You know, you could have turned your head, but he was screaming so loud where you had to. And then I think Conor McGregor did that too, especially with throwing the chair at the bus. No, I don't think he did that shit on purpose. I think he knew how to make money.
But is that the same like Mayweather? What he did for boxing?
Yeah, 100% it is. And I don't think nobody will say it because he's probably the one that did it with the biggest change in his hands. He had a whole industry in his hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't simplify things because I don't know the man, and I obviously can't speak for him. But when you have a fight like Pacquiao on the line, you know, you had the whole world waiting for you. The whole world.
15 years,
Bro,
10 years.
What? And that's the smartest shit ever. Not why give them stuff ASAP, right? Because the UFC, you don't have to bet on that. People are gonna keep being good and exciting, and that's luckily been the case. But Mayweather said, "Nah, man, do less and get more."
Yo, but I didn't respect him when he did fight Pacquiao, and that whole press conference, he didn't talk shit not once.
No, yeah, I definitely felt like.
I mean, he definitely is a disrespectful man in some ways when it comes to the other fighters he's fought in the past. You know,
Just with Pacquiao though,
I think he
because that was like I think his biggest challenge, right?
I think it's like putting on your good clothes for the big day.
He says Cotto was his like toughest challenge, but I definitely felt like he was like. I don't think he was like as zoned in into like Pacquiao as he like with other fighters as he was with
I think
Pacquiao.
he knew
It was just
win,
like
though.
there was a possible threat, like hey,
Yeah,
this guy is a high volume puncher.
We're both a little
he has
older.
angles, and it's just like nah.
That's
But no, I definitely do respect Mayweather. I don't think he was as like obnoxious as like McGregor. Like McGregor just completely disrespected Khabib's family, his fucking religion, his country, and I was just like,
nah. But Mayweather would come hard at Mexicans.
Oh,
though, when he would fight Mexican fighters.
that's what I'm trying to say without saying it.
It was always that black versus.
But Mexicans, right? And
yeah.
you see it through Gervonta Davis, and you see these things that are.
I didn't like that move though. I told you that.
I thought it was for me. I thought it was
What move though? With like
Davis coming out with the Mexican
and
with the colors, yeah.
I mean, I think you know what I said because my girl she's Spanish, right? She's Mexican, and she really like she's really culturally invested, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. But she never seen that before, and I looked at her and I was like, bro, I'm desensitized at this point because I've been so used to this, like, and first of all, you could do whatever the fuck you want, like, you know, it's just a form of talking shit. But the reason I think it's important because when I saw Gervonta Davis do it, like I wasn't mad, I was whatever, but I was like, this is just like unnecessary, bro. Like for me, it was just like it's kind of like dumb and it's kind of like old times. Like Mayweather, I feel like makes him do it because it sells a lot of things and it brings up that tension. That
Davis
anger.
doesn't need that though.
Right. But he doesn't need it.
So my question for you guys is, do you guys see that as a form of disrespect or like as a guy just trying to cater to like a different fan base?
Yeah, I think it's a business.
I think it's a business tactic. That's it. That focuses on using racism as its base.
So you don't see it as like him like trying to be like, yo,
I don't think Gervonta Davis hates Mexicans.
I
don't think he was also like saying, oh, I love Mexico because clearly like, you know, like, or maybe if he was homaging Mexicans in that sense, that'd be great. But I just think to an extent because of Mayweather's actions in the past, you can't do that. You know, I thought her coming out loose pretty cool. Like, you know, I was all right.
I feel like the only way it was acceptable is because he knocked him out that way.
Yeah. But if he would have lost that fight or something, it's just whatever.
Yeah.
I don't take it disrespectful because at the end of the day, like you gotta sell tickets.
Yeah,
that's not gotta.
Yeah, and somebody who's really proud of being Mexican watches that, they're gonna watch the next fight because they want him to get knocked the fuck out. Apparently, you know what I mean? But it's never about that. Like that's not what boxing is about. Like it's not about like, oh, you're Mexican. I know there's a lot of history and a lot of racist, stupid things, and that's the past, and that's ignorance of the past. But when it comes down to it, and you're in that ring, or somebody's in that ring, it comes down to who can hit hardest, and who's gonna knock each other out, and who's gonna
skill for skill, like just.
I don't care what color you are, I don't care who you are, I don't care where you come from. Like in this moment, like you know, like this guy's father was in the corner, you know what I mean? But so was Mayweather's father, right? Wasn't Mayweather's father at one point in his corner? Or something? And so at the end of the day, it goes both ways. But all the emotion is not there. It's about skill set. And so, again, I'm not only my desensitized, I kind of just didn't care that he did that. But it's just also like interesting to me. It was all overall just interesting because I can see where it stemmed from. A lot of greedy things. Definitely. I'd rather have been racist. You know, like at that point at least like geez, but it's a lot of like cryptic, subliminal stuff that's way worse than just being blatantly racist because he's too smart to be that racist. There's no way. You know? And if he is, go fuck himself.
I feel like anybody.
Yo, fuck that car, and fuck you if you honk a horn like a dickhead. Because if you do, you suck ass, and you are just not necessary to a world. Stop honking that horn, asshole. I'm talking to you. Yes, you. Okay. Fuck you, man. I hate people who honk the horn.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, bro? And it's probably the people that talk like this. It's the grown men that talk like this that honk their horn like this. You know what I mean? And that's my little vent on that. It's just, you know.
This was my take.
Yeah, yo. Yeah. Aside boxing and
I think
sports.
no. Last boxing thing. Last boxing thing.
Oh,
Just to get off.
yeah.
If there was 15 rounds, who wins? Lomachenko or Lopez?
Lopez.
15 rounds?
I believe so. Yeah, Lopez. I got to give it to Lopez, even though he
I
did
think
show.
Lopez gets a lucky shot.
Yeah.
Like not like that. I just think they can both last. I think they can both last.
Nah, but like let's say that fight continued, right? I think Lopez won that 12th round.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Right? And then there was 3 more rounds.
If it was scored, Lomachenko would have won. I think so.
Yeah,
15
I
rounds.
still think it too. Like I think like he was like I think they were neck and neck in terms of boxing skills because one thing he was able to neutralize from Lomachenko was his ability to cut the ring and like just hit angles. Like, think about it. Like when you saw Lomachenko fight before, when you saw him fight Rigondeaux, when you saw him fight all these other boxers, Jorge Linares. What was one thing that fascinated you the most about him? Mine was just his ability to dance around somebody. It's just like I punch you, but then I'm right behind you. You know how aggravating that is?
It's like, yo, where the fuck are you?
It's just
Like, you just stay still.
And the fact that like Lopez's footwork was as sensational, I don't think he gets enough credit as a boxer, not even a fighter, because we know.
I think
It's because I saw him freeze up when Lomachenko was doing Lomachenko things.
That's I can see that, and
You
this is
feel
something
me?
that I don't know
Like-
so much, but I feel you on that because he was worried when I saw Dos Santos fighting. I knew he knew that he had to worry about Davis's. Oh, was it left hook or whatever? Yeah. Like you could see him flinching. He was like he was mad nervous about that shit, like more than you would, and he was anticipating. Shout outs to Garbage Men making mad fucking noise, but shout outs to them working mad hard. For me, I could see how much he respected his left hand, whatever.
Yeah.
He might have punched like a monster.
You should, yeah, especially if you're moving up in weight. Yeah. It's just like, no, yeah, but I do give credit to Lopez. His footwork was just as great as, or at least good enough to neutralize Lomachenko and to stop him from doing what he normally does to other boxers. Think about it. Rigondeaux, I believe, is like a 2-time or like at least a 1-time Olympic gold medalist, and he was universally recognized as just as an equally great boxer as Lomachenko. But when they came to fight, Lomachenko just made him look so average, and you're like, wow, like this has never been done before. Usually Rigondeaux was the one doing this. And the fact that Lopez was going around him was like, it was remarkable. And that's why
it was a fight.
That's why I give props to Lopez. It's just like, you know how hard that is. Like that's really hard. Like to have like quick footwork and also like stay in front of him.
Or pro in the ring with you.
Yeah.
Like a real professional, like a well trained and experienced. You know, so I agree with you.
Yeah, footwork is. Yeah, I give it to people with footwork. Yeah.
How's your footwork?
It could be better. Yeah, I definitely need to work on it. I'm getting better at my angles, but it could be better.
Well, how do you hold your hands up? Is there any style?
Yeah, you just hold it up like that. Like some
that?
people like fighting the Philly shell. I personally don't like to because I'm just like not well versed enough or like have enough time.
Nice.
But I prefer like just regular hands up. Or like sometimes I'll just go like that. Yeah, it's just like just move around. One thing I would say is like I'll give myself credit. I'm pretty elusive. I'm elusive. Yeah, I like hitting you and not getting hit. So I think I'm more of a fighter than I am I'm more of a boxer than I am a fighter.
That's way better. I like that because I think that's why I admire watching boxing because it really is like a game of chess.
Sweet science. Yeah, it's just sweet science.
Yes, it is.
I feel like
Yes, it is.
you have to get down to basics first, and definitely the fundamentals is like learning how to like. It's just having generalship of the ring generalship. That's all it is. It's just like learning how to control it.
Bro, I can't imagine getting knocked the fuck out, bro. I cannot imagine taking that boom. Like he was looking straight at that punch. And just boom, and then he wakes up like, like what do I do? Like,
the way he folded too. This guy was like,
he
folded. I was
was
like,
done.
sheesh.
He left the earth for a second.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. It's so fun to watch, man. Be careful.
Definitely is. Definitely is fun. Definitely will take it slow.
What do you think? Aside boxing, people, what do you think fighting does to people when they experience it? Like in any circumstance, but a real fight. Like say you are in a real fight and then you get physical and then you guys are like punching each other.
I think your first fight.
How do you think that affects the mind?
I definitely do think fights will reveal a lot about yourself more than anything you could ever do. So it's just like there are 3 things people do. Either people will stay and fight, people will run away, or people will freeze up. And I think the scariest thing to do is freeze up because it's just like you're there. It's just like you are literally somebody's like you're at someone's disposal. At least when you're running away, it's just like, all right, cool. I'm well aware. I'm not safe. But like if you freeze up, some people legit freeze up, and that's a scary thing. Like I've even seen it in the ring too, where people just freeze up and they're just like,
because the other person has all the authority in the ring.
Yeah, and it's just like they'll dictate how the fight
have all the
goes.
authority too. There's no rules outside.
Yeah,
and I hear it's the hit on the ground that's always the most.
Yeah, it's always the impact. Yeah, where it's like it's that second impact. It's not even the initial one. It's always the second one where it's just like boom.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I think it fucks people up, honestly speaking.
But I do definitely believe it will reveal a lot about yourself. But I also feel like it's also a good thing. Like I think eventually we're all gonna get into a fight. If you can make it in life without
hopefully
fight,
not,
I
really
don't condone
think
violence
that's
or
what
anything.
you
But I
should
feel, I also do feel like, like I think at least once, especially New York. I feel like New York is just so fucking. It's called the concrete jungle for a reason. Like you know, somebody will look at you and like be like, I don't like how you breathe. So what's up?
Fresh.
Yeah, and it's just like what? It's like I'm just breathing, my guy. It's just like chill. And it's just like
and from then on out, you try to breathe a little differently.
Yeah, it's like yo,
maybe I
breathe
shouldn't
better.
do
It's
that
just
way.
like damn.
Or you just fucking up.
But it's just like man. I definitely
It's like, what do you think fighting does to a person? Like,
Makes you stronger.
Like not
Makes you
boxing.
stronger, I think.
Oh yeah,
Right?
In what way, mentally or
Mentally, hell yeah, mentally. I feel like it's all mental. You're a human being. If you can swing, you have power. You feel me? But it's that mental stage where it's just like you know, like controlling your breathing, knowing what to do.
don't overthink.
Yeah. Like be in that moment, like, and that focus. That focus is that same focus that you gotta have. Like, nigga, 3 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, it's that tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Like just
accurate this or that and just timing, man. But still, sometimes it's just you're not at an advantage. At least in like professional sports, you know, you guys are weighed out to be equal. And
there's some
outside
UFC fighters that, like, they'll ask them, like, yo, you ever had a fight, like a street fight or something? And they'll be like, no. They'll be like, I never had a street fight, but the nigga's like 22-0.
That's good though, man. Especially if you're a professional fighter, because you really like you see outward. I think so. Like you see outside that, like the ignorance of never having that experience. Like imagine being in a fucking ring in front of thousands of people getting punched in the face. You know what I mean? And vice versa. Like punching
You are legit
back.
a spectacle at that point.
Yeah,
it's just
man.
like, you are someone's entertainment. It's just like
the
people came to
closest
see
thing
somebody
the
get hurt.
Romans and stuff
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
like gladiator. It is
There
a
we go.
gladiator sport.
Yes.
It is what it is.
And so
Like,
that activates something, or that does some shit to you, or whatever. But bro, it must be wild. But I think some people need that shit, some people don't. But it's crazy. It's crazy. And like I'm just curious because somebody watching this right now could have like just got fucked up. You know what I mean? Open their YouTube channel, or somebody could have just fucked up that person and watched this too. And at the end of the day, we just go on. You know? This is really all it is. It's just something else you experience. It's like getting hit by a car, but the car wanted to do it.
That's what they say. Fighters be like, it feels like a car crash.
Yeah.
Like when you walk in there, just prepare yourself for like a couple car crashes.
Oh shit.
I feel like that's what like football is. Like just having like someone 300 pounds running at you at like
With no
4 or 5
remorse.
speed. It's just like he's trying to like run through you.
And he get helmet to helmet.
That's what I'm
because-
saying.
Yeah.
That's like, and then having to do that down after down after.
Yeah.
Like
man,
I feel like that
brutal.
is legit. Like not even a metaphorical car crash. That is legit a car crash.
Yeah, every
He's
single
fucking
time. Like, it's
down.
relative to your body size.
I give it to running backs, man.
Holy shit.
Having to go through like at least 900 pounds.
They're the ones that get. Who gets hit the most in a football game?
Besides linemen, I feel like it has to
Running
be.
backs,
It has to be running backs. You're constantly trying to either go through a hole.
And it's like 4 people at once.
Yeah, that's what
at
I'm
once.
saying.
Like,
Yeah.
just
And these
some
guys are like
crazy
300
shit.
pounds, like 280 plus. And it's just a muscle. And it's just
Wow.
shouts out to them, man.
Well, shout out to anybody just playing a sport. Cause
Yeah, we're
And
gonna
now
put their
bare
body on the
knuckles.
line for
Yeah,
someone's
yeah.
entertainment. Yeah.
Now they got bare knuckles.
they got bare knuckles.
Yeah, bare knuckle boxing now.
Oh
yeah.
my god, yo.
All you have is the hand wraps, I think.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's sick.
That's
Sick.
super
Yeah.
sick. I thought that was like some deep internet shit. You know what I mean?
It
Wow.
was.
I'm
But
sure it
like
did.
now it's like on
Was
TV.
the Pain Olympics ever really a thing?
There's a Pain Olympics.
You ever heard about that? Oh, look it up.
I think I have.
Bro, I heard about it in middle school all the time. So basically,
Never heard
Pain
about that.
Olympics.
No, I'm taking out my chapstick.
Oh, I thought, yeah. That's perfect. Sorry, I'm about to look in my pocket too. Yeah, the Pain Olympics, I kept hearing about it in middle school. And it was basically like somebody would sit on a glass jar, or somebody would cut their dick.
Oh yeah. I heard
Oh,
about that. I
that
heard
was
about that.
Things in the
legitimately
middle of your
I heard about
fingernails. And just terrible.
Who says, yo, let me fucking cut my fucking reproductive
But there are
organ
people who
off?
don't feel pain. There are some people in this world who don't feel pain.
Oh, no, yeah. And that's
they
the worst
don't
thing,
live
too.
long. They
I feel like that's a double-edged sword because then you don't know, your body doesn't know when it's in danger. And it's just like, think about it. You don't feel
That's
pain.
what-
You get shot in an artery, but you don't realize
That's
it.
exactly why they don't.
10
live very
seconds
long.
later, you're like fucking
Yeah.
dead. And it's all because your body couldn't feel it. And I
Exactly.
think that's scary, man.
It
It
is,
definitely is.
you can literally bleed out from a little cut. That just,
Yeah, you don't notice that. You have an infection,
big.
you step on a rusty nail, can't feel it.
what is it? Gang foot? I think gang. If you step on a rusty nail, right?
Isn't it called like tetanus or something like that.
Tetanus is a shot you get to disinfect the area. Like that. But it's like a Genghis or whatever. It's like your foot turns black and whatever. They got amputated later on some shit. It's like, I don't know what the fuck is frostbite. Frostbite cold. No,
your foot freezes.
Yeah.
So they say dying in your sleep. What am I saying? If you drown, it's the best way to die. I heard about that.
I don't want to drown.
So you're saying like asphyxiation, like just,
yeah, I guess so, or
just the cutting off of
I
circulation.
think once that it's just at that point it's just but who the fuck knows? Because I think what you don't feel for pain, your brain must be racy. Your brain must be like just fucking. And the reason I bring it up is just because I heard about it before. It's a random fact. That's crazy to me. That's a really crazy random fact. So yeah, random. Fuck yeah. What round is this?
Alright.
Round 6 of Infinity.
Yeah, that was actually a really good one. It was actually a really, really good one. I was like, wow, that's a guy's huge.
So I wanted to use that for this project, but
so you're cooking up something?
yeah.
Nice. How come it goes well?
Tell me what you think. I'll play like 2 songs.
Yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me know. I think I have high expectations. I like the first one.
Did you hear I had to? By any chance?
Excuse me?
I had to. You showed him I had to?
I'm not sure. We should play it though.
Yeah, fuck. I have a couple.
We're rolling, by the way. Both ends.
Will it be copyrighted? I hope not.
Why?
I mean, I'm asking you.
Nah.
Because you asked.
It's my work.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, you're the owner of the music, so I think we'll go with doing it. We get no sound on this show except the sound of New York.
Okay, so since you heard Round 6, I'll play this one.
Can I play it? Can you actually play it one more time just so I can hear it again? Because it was like what, maybe 5 years ago that I heard that 6. So I just want to see how like you progress. I like it though. Like I really did enjoy the first song. I was just like, holy shit, my son can rap.
Yo, honestly, you can. You be talking about real shit.
Yeah, and it wasn't like the what's the word? The generic rappers where it's like, and that's not to knock anybody's hustle, but it's just like
you're making music.
Yeah.
Kudos.
But I would definitely say like from what I've heard, from what I remember the first song you dropped, you were definitely better than like some of the rappers out now. Like a lot of the rappers out now. Like yeah, in terms of like lyrical ability. No, yeah, like I personally like lyrical ability, and from what I remember the first time, I was just like, oh, like this guy has a flow, he's catchy. And also, apart from that, like, he definitely has delivery too. Like, some of the punchlines, I was like, oh, like a lot of the times, like, everything sounds the same. It sounds watered down. But from what I remember, your sound, I actually liked it. Like, this shit's nice.
That's so good, right? Frank Sinatra?
Yeah, that's right, wrong. I love it all. That shit gets me fucking hyped, bro. That shit gets me hyped. That's the one emotion I can really place. There's a lot of negative things in some other stuff he showed me, but I think with the songs that he's published, the one thing I can see is, like you box into it, or we run into it, or somebody in the gym getting fucking hype. And then the way I like to put it realistically is like if I started my day, you know what I mean? Like if I'm about to go to work, I want to go to work, and I'm listening to really bring me up and go forward. Like Tim's music is for that.
I feel like you can definitely bump that, bro.
Yeah, and it don't matter who you are, and I think a lot of artists do that successfully by mistake almost, because they just have that within them, and I think Tim's character translates well. I think he's somebody who's always known to work hard. Not that we don't work hard too, but this motherfucker's always like working out. The motherfucker's always been doing this, playing basketball, like any other sport. He's the one that told me how to play football and any other sport. We used to play 2-man football and baseball.
Not even just one-on-one.
Yeah, one-on-one football. Yeah, one-on-one football in the past.
How do you play one-on-one?
Yeah, no, we used to play right there by the skate park. That shit was all grass, and it was just wanting to play. Figure that shit out, hit home runs, try to go to the gig, get the ball back and shit like that. Jurassic Park type shit.
Simpler times, right?
Yeah, man, it was really awesome. But
Super simple times.
Super. We had a fucking pandemic. We didn't have the fucking.
But this is the music you need after a pandemic. This is the music you need to get over just any like fucking what's that word? Slump, man. Yeah. If you're really in that little sense of your mind, like listen to some of the music it's all translatable. It's the energy. It's the energy that you hear through it. And it's
so
super vital.
Music is energy, bro. Energy, vibes.
One thing I do like about it, I'm not trying to say you sound like anybody else, but one thing you kind of give me like vibes of, or like when I hear your flow, I'm like, oh, I think of Big L. I think of Action. No, not Big L. Big Pun. You remind me a lot of Big Pun. You remind me a lot of Action Bronson. Kind of like their flow, their delivery.
I get Action Bronson a lot.
Yeah, like like it sounds like it. I'm just like, well, not exactly, but it's just like, yo, I hear it, I see it. I'm like, holy shit. That's why I really enjoyed your work.
No. Let me
and try to prepare for last 5 seconds. less 5 seconds. Over.
Frankie was in the studio with me for a second.
Oh, that show was fun. Yeah, that show was. And it was cool to hear the process of things. When you witness somebody in their little zone, this is where they live, they breathe, this is where they sleep, this is where they wake up.
Yeah, I was dreaming about this shit since a youngin'. I'll be the king, and I took a look at myself, and I promise I'll flip the script when I'm
He feels like that. No. I'm saying he feels like that, and Pacquiao feels like that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, any boxing stuff already.
I came up from having nothing, no luck in this game. I planned it 10,000 hours and running. I know that I gotta have it. This shit ain't up for discussion. I dropped out and dropped the classic, so fuck it. I pressed the button. I'm aiming straight for the conscience. They passed up on me like options. I'm popping and shooting rockets, so watch how I come out stomping and conquer the kind of problems that stop you from having commas. I'm taking this game too far, so just look at what I've become. I'm a rap star. I'm a fucking rap star. I'm a rap star. I'm a fucking rap star. I'm a rap star. I'm a fucking rap star. I'm gonna keep on doing me.
I got an idea.
I'm a rap star. I'm a fucking rap star. I'm a rap star.
Then I can start feeling
I'm a rap star. I'm a fucking rap star.
You
I'ma keep on doing me. I ain't changing who you are. And they acting like they know me, so tell them to write my story. I'll tell you something about me. I battled through every moment. My mother was working harder than most of these other fathers. My fathers was popping bottles and drowning out in the sorrows. My sister was coming up in the game and I got a taste. But if my brother never pushed me, I promised I stay the same. So continue to overlook me. I'm climbing over the gate and I'm learning to count my blessings, cause I could lose it a day. Fuck a rap star. I got bigger shit to worry about than all these fast cars. Bitches waiting on me till I make it, but I'm back gone. Oh, they keep on hating, but I'm patient till we scrap, dog. I got family I need to feed before I die, God. I was waiting too long. I put my life inside this shit, I wouldn't call it a song, cause I might see another birthday, but my grandmother won't. So how you call this paradise when you can't say what you love? I'm taking my spot. Let the legends live on. I'm taking my block to the top of the chart. You know I can't stop. This was all that I want, and it might look like overnight, but I've been working this hard. Like I don't wish on a star. No. I don't wish on a star. No. I became what I want. Yeah. I became what I want. I'm a rap star. I'm a fucking rap star. I'm a rap star. I'm a fucking rap star. I'm a rap star.
Yeah. I fucked with it. Heavy duty.
Yeah,
Fucked with it. I fucked with it. Yeah. I liked it. I really like it.
You a big fan?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's dope.
I was with him shooting at the Y.
Literally. What? Real quick, why is Freddie Roach such an iconic? That's his name, right? Freddie Roach. Why is he iconic?
He has boxers like Pacquiao, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's trained Pacquiao since he first came to the States.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, like that's his only trainer. Yeah, that was his
I
only
thought
trainer.
he trained mad famous people.
I mean, he has, like, but Pacquiao is what got him to that, like, superstar
Hall
of,
of
like,
Fame.
coaching, yeah. Like,
Alright.
so not, like, Freddie Roach and Manny Pacquiao are synonymous with one another. It's like, you think of Manny Pacquiao, just like Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, you think of, like, oh, yeah.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So, real quick, I always forget who he is. I just think that I was just like, I know he sounds famous as fuck. That name is famous as fuck. Freddie Roach, he's gonna be famous.
He also trained Oscar De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao, Julio
shit.
Cesar Chavez Jr. He's trained Miguel Cotto. He's trained Onito Donaire. He's trained a lot of good people. Like, yeah.
I didn't know that.
But that's all with the doing of, like, apart obviously like his own work. Like, he had to work there. He had to work to get there. But with him and Pacquiao was like, they both put each other on the map.
Look, Lil Wayne and Kevin Garnett with.
Oh, no way. That's awesome. I didn't see Kevin Garnett. I saw Lil Wayne.
So KG last second. You guys see Uncut Gems?
I did, yo. I love that movie. I seen it in the theater. I was smoke, went in there, smelled like ass. But I saw it right before the world ended, some shit. Awesome.
Right before the world ended.
Yo, how is it the process? How is the process of making a song? Like, I'm not gonna tell you like specify what's in that, but how did this come about? What you just played?
Quick, a little quick insertion. Like, I want to insert something in there as well. Do you still get pre-game jitters, like, before, like, you're about to step into the booth? And if so, what do you do to overcome those pre-game jitters? Like,
Hell yeah. I get that all the time, and overcoming it, do it a couple times at a lower voice, and then work your way up to the actual voice that you want.
Full volume.
Yeah, full volume. Like, do it a couple times, and yeah, those jitters don't go away.
They're always there.
Yeah, like once you face the mic, you're just like,
That's dope.
alright,
That's super
boom,
super.
and then,
How's your writing process?
oh yeah, to answer that question, nah, bro. I find beats, bro. Whatever hits, like whatever
just go with it, right?
touches your ear, bro. I picture that song in my head and then I just write it.
Yeah, no, fuck it. I mean, it's as simple as that, bro.
Yeah.
What's your favorite sound? Like, even if it's like not you like composing the music or like writing for it, like, but if you had to say like the sound that's out, like, what's your favorite sound?
Auto-tune.
You like auto-tune?
Nice.
I like auto-tune, but like,
In what way?
Yeah. Because you can have like trap and then you can have like Kanye auto-tune. Like you can have Travis Scott auto-tune and then you can have like.
Well, you can have Yeezus, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
All over the place.
like 50 Cent melodic, but like nah, I'm not gonna be Travis.
Travis is so to himself. He has so much.
50 Cent melodic on Travis beats.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't even know. I can't explain it. But the type of bro, I have different type of everything.
Yeah.
Like I don't try to stick to one thing. I try to just get a feeling.
You need to have range.
OD. Everybody like.
Nah, it's the truth.
All your favorite artists, I'm pretty sure they have super groups, bro.
That's why you can select them at any given moment.
Any
I'm
given
feeling
moment.
this boom. I'm feeling this boom. I'm feeling
Yeah.
this boom.
I heard Lil Wayne was I don't want to say notorious, but he was definitely like recognized for freestyling a lot of the times off the top of his head when he makes a song.
That's dope.
Like, and there was a song,
that.
like I was watching the documentary, I believe, like
I didn't know
not
that,
too long
actually.
ago, yeah. Like the last time he wrote down words in a book, he was ripping the pages out as he was like in the booth, reciting his verses. You just heard the pages rip. Like,
No way.
yeah, I thought that was pretty dope. I was like, holy shit, like that takes a lot of skill, man. Like,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah,
even if you
man.
give me half an hour a day to like write some like content, I don't think like it would still come out just as good as like Lil Wayne just freestyling off the top of his head. Yeah, I'm gonna come up with puns. Yeah,
Bro, I can't imagine no fucking. I mean, well, all this, regardless of
Jay-Z's
that,
another crazy one.
I heard. Is that true that he just freestyles everything?
Bro, nah, you could, bro. You see it like him in studio sessions, bro.
He just goes,
And then he'll tell the engineer like, I want this part here, so just blank that out, and then I'll come back in, put it. Like he did 99 Problems, you know how he does the cop voice?
Yeah.
Where he's like, you know what I'm talking about, right?
He's talking about the people always talking about or something.
I know a lot of your
Yeah,
heart.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
type shit
yeah.
like that. So he does that. Oh, no pen, no nothing. He does his verse first, then he's like, all right, now like playback. I'm gonna insert where I want it.
I don't know what the fuck he does to get
What the
ready
fuck
for
does
it.
he do
Yeah.
to write? Nah.
No, you're dead ass right, man. And then a lot of other artists, bro. A lot of fucking other artists.
yeah, but I feel
Think
like
about Kendrick Lamar, man.
Kendrick Lamar, yeah, his flow is crazy.
His brain is crazy, bro.
Yeah,
He's just
yeah.
fucking ridiculous man over here.
My son got like fucking stamina for days because fucking rigor mortis,
Yeah.
like that ending, like 16 fucking lines. He just kept spinning. I was like, shit, I can't keep up.
It's ridiculous.
I couldn't keep up.
It's ridiculous. There's people like that inspire, influence, and I mean they maintain that real trueness of rap. You know what I mean too. And I know there's a lot of artists we can talk about right now. This is like it's just, man. As much as I just like music overall. I don't care what it is, as long as it's something that's different or new or just sounds pleasant to the ear. Fuck with it. There's beauty in every genre. But I think with like lyricism and today, like it's not. They do not go hand in hand, man. I don't knock anybody down for like an end music they like, but it's just kind of crazy the status of how music is today. I don't love it, and I think it's a lot more business like boxing than making the actual song. Like I did something, and if you guys want to try this, I did this the other day, right? I was kind of showing somebody this. I played a Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj's music video, both back to back, right? And I muted both of those. And if you do this, I swear to God, right? Mind you, before this, we had watched a Queen Latifah music video. So you imagine, right? It heard this song, right? And if you play both those videos back to back, right? Any like the first things that pop up on YouTube, right? Yeah, bro.
I'm good, bro. Thank you.
They do the same exact thing. And I'm talking about like the everything is the same. Like I'm talking about the background dancers, and the whole idea of the video. And it's ridiculous because when you watch it without volume, you know how they say boxing when you watch it without the commentators, you watch a real fight, right? And so I saw the real content, and I'm like, it's just repetition. It has nothing to do with what they're making the song of. And I don't have hate for either artist, because there's a bunch of other
Nicki
artists.
probably got that from somebody. You know somebody that was Lil Kim or something? Or
Like,
like,
yeah,
I
a lot of people,
somebody.
yeah, a bunch of other people that did the crazy shit that wasn't. This is not original, and I'm not putting fault on that because a lot of men do it too. But I got bitches, hoes, you know, money in the club. Like you see them just as ridiculous in a more darker light, and, you know, in a different manner. But it just sucks because like I know it's always gonna sound like damn music sucks because you know I'm getting older and people that make music are younger.
Yeah.
But I was like I'm not even that old first of all. You know,
Yeah.
and second of all,
We're still young. What the fuck? Yeah.
No, but I'm saying like our music taste is not the same as somebody who was born in 2000. Bro, like some people don't even know who Nas is or care who Nas is. You know?
Yeah.
I know
That's
people
what I'm
that
trying
that never listen to Graduation.
What?
Yeah, like I had to stop talking to those people.
They were toxic. I had to let go of toxicity.
But it's things like that because it's always that's always gonna happen.
Yeah.
Somebody's favorite artist right now is Lil Pump. You know, it's true, and I don't hate on him making money, but it's crazy.
I'm just throwing it out there. You're better than Lil Pump. Yeah. I'm just.
I hope so.
Yeah. No. You don't even have to. Like, yeah. It's like not to disrespect anybody.
Nah, he's making his money. I can't.
Yeah. I'm not gonna hate on the guy's hustle, but it's just like,
Yeah.
it's like shit.
But yeah, man. It's just to sound like the cliche person that's upset about the status of music. I am upset about the status of music, especially when it's lyricism in rap because there's not a lot of that happening. It's a lot of like repetition and it's not impressive stuff.
It's looking though like J. Cole and Kendrick will drop an album and shit.
I hope so.
Not
That
together,
to me
but
is like Mayweather Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Bro, just put that shit out already, bro. We could have put out 4 tapes already. Put out some mixtapes or some shit. Now, I can get it. They find a way to get older. It's definitely like, let it soak. Let's sit there like wine. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But still, I would like to see something.
But you see how he punches really quick?
My
You see
dad's
how
getting
those
wild.
punches are just awkward as fuck? It's just like,
It's like
it's not straight. Yeah, those are called overhand
He
rights.
was a UFC fighter. Bro.
It's just like, how do you block against that? Because the overhand right is supposed to go up and then come down. So it's just like, how do you block against that? It's not a conventional punch. That's what I'm trying to say.
Open though, no?
Yeah.
Oh shit. But he eats though. He's a little crazy.
Yeah, no,
That
yeah.
is a little wild.
There's one thing I can't knock is Mayweather's chin. He definitely has a chin.
Yeah.
He's definitely been hit, yeah.
What's your favorite Mayweather fight? Not to like the boxing talk about.
Possibly like, it definitely has to be Cotto. Because it was just like, oh shit, we're actually in for a fight. It was like Cotto was pressuring him. It was like the first time you seen Mayweather bleed, like forever.
Really? That's right.
Yeah, Cotto got him to bleed. Apparently, like fucking Mayweather said after the fight that he was pissing blood. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
That's some crazy shit.
yeah. So that has to be like one of my favorite fights. That one. What else? I think I like the Jose Luis Castillo fight. I don't remember it as vividly as I do like with the Cotto fight, but yeah, that was a fight where I was like, oh shit. One can argue he lost his fight, and a lot of people use that against him, just like the Jose Luis Castillo fight. Even though he did give him a rematch and he completely like dominated him, but it was just like, yeah.
But if you were to watch that fight, that's a little head jumper. There's an argument that
Jose Luis Castillo won the first fight. Yeah.
Interesting. You think so? You think so?
Again, I don't remember it as vividly as I do like other fights, but from what I remember, I would want to say like maybe 12 years old, 11 years old. I definitely thought Jose Luis Castillo won the fight.
Oh shit.
I definitely thought he won the fight.
I'll check that shit out.
Yeah, you definitely should. Yeah.
Fuck, I don't remember that fight.
But yeah, then he gave him a rematch, completely dominated. But that was the same way with Canelo and Triple G, the first fight, where I was just like, damn, I don't think
I seen that.
app that people download, but you have to get invited to it. Like, it's not just some app on the apps. Like, it's a legit you need to know people to have the app.
Yeah.
And if you have the app, you can invite other people, and you can change the colors of the statue of the Empire State Building.
Like whenever you want.
Yeah.
That's
But again,
crazy.
it's just like you need to know people.
You gotta have that shmoney.
Like, yeah, you gotta be connected.
I feel like
Like, I don't know if it's true now. That's what I heard.
all you gotta do at that point is get connected. You know.
Like, yo, who got that?
Who got the app? That's fucking crazy. Is it gonna work? Am I bugging?
It's crazy how after this fight he retired too. Well, after the second fight.
What do you mean?
Aldana retired.
He retired after this?
After the second fight, yeah.
Shit.
Man,
I didn't know that.
he probably made like a good 15 million off 2 fights, maybe 10 million off.
That's
2 fights.
beautiful, man.
And think about it, you're converting into pesos. Good.
He's Mexican?
No, he's from Argentina.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I just
It's same for Alzheimer's awareness tomorrow night for the World and Seal program.
Oh, so that's why it's still
Yeah.
Alzheimer's awareness.
Uh-huh.
Please be aware, Alzheimer's. That shit is real. So with respects to that, but it's very research. Was it early? It hasn't been researched as much as other things. Is what I'm trying to say. So I'm not making light of a harsh situation, but Alzheimer's is very interesting. Yeah, man. It's scary, just to put it short. to go wish upon nobody.
Alzheimer's is the one with like memory loss, right?
Yeah.
That's a scary thing, man.
It's super
To
sad.
deteriorate like that, to like just completely forget who you are.
That's one. I think that's a lot of people's fears and my fear. I think so.
Yeah.
I think marijuana, to a sense, is linked to that far future.
You guys think so? Like, what made you guys say that?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I just heard of it so much, like they talked about and shit, but I don't know why exactly. But there's a linkage for sure. But I don't know. I mean, it's also like age, you know. It's also like your brain is, you know. And some people are more fortunate, some aren't. Some people aren't using their brain. I'm not.
Yeah.
I have no restriction on that shit. But ultimately, that's what I'm trying to say. Is just that sometimes it is just inevitable. And like, at the end of the day, we are human beings. And there's no need. There's no need for answers for what's going on with you. I think Neil deGrasse Tyson says like the universe has no obligation to make sense to you.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's such a beautiful
And
line.
it's true because it's
Who's that?
Neil
Neil
deGrasse
deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
The universe is under no obligation to make sense to you. I love that line.
It's very, very true. It sucks, but fuck it. Not to, you can also do crazy cool shit, but you know that's one of the shitty things.
So, I know like marijuana just recently like got legalized and shit like that. Do you feel like, do you guys feel like there are like any like long lasting effects of marijuana? Like after heavy usage, like
I think
there's like not
long
enough
long
research.
effects are gonna be the one for sure.
Definitely,
Because
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
I think mentally it's gonna be something that's we're gonna find out. Like, because now that it's been legalized so much, now the study's gonna pour in.
Yeah.
And the debate for like illegalizing it again will be made, and there's linkage to this and that. And I think there will be, I don't know how, but I think there'll be deaths from it. You know what I mean? Like somebody high as fuck driving, crash.
That's normal. That's like if you're under the
You shouldn't
influence of
be
any
driving.
like substance, like
Yeah, you're right.
that's a given. Like I don't feel like it's, although it is linked to it, I don't
You're
feel
right.
like correlation equals causation. I don't feel like because you were driving high, you died because of marijuana. It's like no,
You shouldn't have been.
Yeah,
smoking
you shouldn't have-
marijuana
yeah,
or
like, you know.
consuming it. It's fair. I very fair. Like there's no linkage
Yeah.
ever to you dying from. You're right.
Yeah.
You're 100%. I don't. At that point, it's straight up just.
bad
Just,
decision.
it's like sugar.
Yeah.
It's like don't just make too much of it.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
weed-
it's fine in
weed-
moderation.
Weed is awesome. Yeah, weed is fun in general though. But
It
you're
is,
right.
it is.
Everything has to be in moderation because at that point, it's just important.
I feel like the thing where I enjoy like weed a lot more so than any drug is because me personally, I just never took too much of it. Like I'm pretty sure we've all like got blacked out drunks, and like that's all because we fucking drink one too many shots.
Just too much.
With
period.
weed, you can like I feel like the only way somebody will tap out is if like one, you're either paranoid, or two, like your throat just hurts from like pulling the shit. Because like when I used to be in Tsaiah, like my throat would hurt. I'd be like, yo, my shit hurt. I can't do this.
Like too much blunts and everything.
Yeah, shit hurts.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Definitely.
Like that's
It's just not good for your.
like yeah.
throat.
I never had a bad experience with it though. Like I know people who've thrown up because they got too high. Have you guys you've thrown up?
Wait, from smoking smoke?
Yeah, or like from being too hot. Like certain people
Oh,
were
yeah,
like
yeah,
smoking
yeah.
or like edible.
I think maybe at most I felt like I was nauseous or like blah blah blah, but that was very rare. For me, weed has been like mad fun, like laughing a lot. Like I mean, that shit was fun. But I don't know. I when people have really paranoid experiences, it's very interesting to me. You know what I mean? And I'm not like saying a bad thing like that, but like I had a friend that asked me to go meet up with them one time because their friend was reacting to an edible, right? And she was bugging the fuck out. And she was like, "Hey, can you come so we can just like kind of just." And I got there, and the person was high. They were just
But edibles is different from.
I know. I
Definitely.
definitely know about that, but I'm just trying to say it's just like when I, because you know, like if you guys run edibles, right? And I see one of you guys, and you're like, oh shit,
It's
you're
apparent.
like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's apparent.
fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what's up, bro? But she was in that state of mind where she was like really like hurt, like you could see her shaking, her eyes was watery. And for me, it's just like, well, I know she's safe right now. Like I know she's not gonna die. You know what I'm trying to say? And she just needs to weigh it out and everything. But it just kind of like it sucks to see the negative sides of marijuana because you know, long story short, that has a lot to do with yourself. You know.
Yeah.
But it's still an experience you're enduring in that moment, and a lot of people don't smoke weed anymore after that, or eat edibles, which is of course different. But they don't dip their toes in either one because of that one experience. And at the end of the day, you're not in any danger, yeah. But that mental part is still there.
Yeah,
That's
scary.
still in
Like,
effect.
yeah.
It's
For
still
some people, it's really scary. Yeah.
I know people
It's
that
a
went to the
bruise to
hospital
be-
after edible. Thinking
Yeah.
it was gonna die.
A lot of people did.
I know a person who actually called 911.
I know. Isn't there that
Yeah.
cop that called the thing himself or something like that? You ever heard about that? There's a cop that he was so high he had
Oh, I
edibles
see-
in
I
his-
see
No,
I see that
really?
They called the cops.
That's fucking
It was like,
jokes.
yeah.
That's jokes.
Y'all think I'm dead?
I definitely felt like that too. Like I definitely have had like a bad trip, or like at least a
I
bad
had a
high.
bad trip. I had a bad high.
Yeah, I've had bad. I've at least had like 1 or 2 like bad highs. But, like,
Bad highs are good because they make you realize, like, all right, let me just slow real quick.
yeah, it's like yeah. You got put on your ass. It's like chill out.
Yeah.
Don't
like,
overdo it. You don't need to overdo it.
Bad highs are fun as shit.
Yo,
Yo,
shit.
What are your guys' favorite form of ingesting weed? Like I feel like
What do you mean?
like just
Oh,
like
okay,
taking
so-
it. Like my favorite is orally. Like I like taking like edibles. I like taking gummies, but that's because I like the high it gives me as opposed to smoking. Like the edibles, I like getting hit like out of nowhere. Like I'm talking normally, and then just out of nowhere, I'm like,
Some
oh.
of my best highs were off edible.
Yeah, like it's just like out of nowhere.
No, the
you're
best
just getting
highs,
that
right?
high.
The best highs
Yeah.
are the perfect
I
edible.
remember throwing
Yeah,
the park
that's what I'm saying.
I was saying the football at Central Park, and I ate up edible like an hour behind, right? Or 2 hours behind, right? But it was like I was like, what the fuck is that hit me?
The minute you talk shit,
Yeah,
the
it's like that's when you get put on the ass.
The same
yeah.
second you say something like, yo, these shits don't work.
Amazing, bro. I laid on the grass, and I was just so happy. And it's a real happy that it's just like, no, not happy. I'm just saying a pleasant feeling.
All over your body too, like low key,
Yeah.
like you just levitate.
You just sink, and it's awesome and fun. But yeah, I would love to eat more edibles, but there's no edibles around. Like, not for nothing. Like, I would rather buy from a fucking dispensary. You know what I mean? Like, I know people be selling edibles and stuff like that, but it's one of those things where it's just like, bro, a dispensary is what's needed. You could just go pick your shit out. I ate a whole bag of edibles before I came back from when I laid over in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I went to long story short, I went to the dispensary and I smoked with my Uber driver, you know, and
How?
we just talked. He was mad cool, man, Mexican, man, LA Mexican.
You had that accent? Like,
Yeah, he had the whole accent.
So, like,
He
this
he was like,
fool?
yeah, fool, like, what you
Like
doing?
this?
What you doing here, man? And I was like, oh, you know, bro, you know.
Yeah.
And we were just talking in the car, and he was like, you on your way to the dispensary? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go get some weed before I come back to the airport because I left my baggage in there. And then yeah, he's like, you don't want to just smoke with me instead? I was like, all right. And so I was like, let me go still get my edibles though. So I got a bag of edibles and a pre-roll, right? I think I'm like, what's that strain? Widow? White Widow?
White Widow?
Yeah, or some shit like that. So I bought a little pre-roll to smoke with. So we posted at a gas station convenient about a lighter, right? And it was dope. I mean, we literally talked about how much better marijuana is than alcohol, and especially in Hispanic cultures and like any like minority cultures. You know how we're labeled, but fuck it, we are beautiful people no matter what minority ugly word has to exist.
I definitely prefer to smoke than
Yeah, definitely. But it was also because we just we smoked, and then he's like, yeah, he took me back to the airport, blasted man. West Coast rap, like it was awesome. He was blasting that shit, the windows open, and I hate the whole bag of edibles. And I went to TSA. I was perfectly happy. I was like, yo, bro, what? Like, not only am I gonna be high as fuck, but I'm in no harm. I'm actually safer than ever, and I got rid of everything on me. And yeah, and I just went on with my flight. I promise you, the second the flight took off, not that I wasn't already high out of my mind, but the second the flight went on, the edibles, boom, they hit me, and I was so fucking hyped. And that was the best flight I've ever had in my life.
That's good.
So marijuana is awesome.
I definitely do enjoy it. I love weed. Yeah, I've never.
Also-
You can never have too much of it.
Yeah, man.
Or at least I haven't.
Nah,
Alcohol, I've told myself one shot one fuck me
yeah,
up.
alcohol is the
No,
worst thing
blacked
ever.
out.
Yeah.
Just like, you've been there. You've been
Yeah,
there.
100% I've been there. And it sucks.
Yeah.
And it's, be careful.
I feel like it's
Always be
okay
careful.
to black out twice a year.
Nah, it's just never okay to black out.
I feel like it's just scary. You completely lose consciousness.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
terrible.
like that's what kind of scares me. It's like, I'm running. I have a motor running, but I'm not aware of it. I think
Yeah.
that's scary. It's just like, holy shit.
And
Nah,
there's
I
like,
love being aware, yeah.
yeah, you have to always be aware. And then there's some pills that do that to you too. I don't know what pills it is, but
Like, to be aware, to like just
they just make you like not be able to realize you're doing something, and you can be like really going on with your day, and then maybe you're like, wait, what the fuck?
It's
You know?
scary,
I don't know what though, but I heard of it before.
Consciousness is. I like being aware.
Yes,
Just
it's
being
super
fully
important.
aware.
Being high is awesome.
Being high is fun, yeah.
I loved it. I loved it in college, like being at community college. That was awesome. Because I walked around, like, you know, midway through the classes and stuff like that.
Slap as fuck.
Oh, did. And then when I go to my music class and I would sit down and it's like, this is great. Because I had a professor who just played music all the time. It was awesome. It was awesome. And then they're actually learning real stuff too. It's cool. But not that music isn't a real subject, but I enjoy it much more than fucking any other shit. Yeah, but
Ooh. So, have you guys had better time while kind of intoxicated, like either being buzzed or drunk, or have you guys had like greater, like, or more memorable moments of being high, like you would say? Like I personally,
well, I think being high is form of intoxication, technically speaking.
yeah.
So,
CrossFit, yeah.
But no, I'm saying it's just being high in general is being intoxicated. Right?
Yeah.
So,
Or
no?
yeah, just being drunk then. No, yeah,
Yeah.
because you can technically speaking, or out of
Is it no? I'm asking. Is it correct to say that like if you're intoxicated, you're under the influence of any substance? Or
no,
is it
I think
specifically
I think
alcohol?
it may only pertain to alcohol. So
Oh,
like,
yeah?
let me
Intoxication?
let me reiterate what I said.
I didn't know that. I just figured intoxicated
Yeah,
was like, oh, he's
no, under the
intoxicated.
influence could just be for anything. Like you're under the influence of alcohol.
You have to
under the
specify
influence.
what he's under the influence.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
But I didn't know intoxicated was just
Or like
for
even if you
alcohol.
don't know if they're like what they're tripping on, you could just be like, yo, he's just under the influence. Of
Because
something.
intoxicated sounds like intoxic, like you got
Yeah.
toxic. Then you-
No, so then I think yeah,
Maybe.
again, alcohol it only pertains to intoxication. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, me personally, I do like drinking for social events. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I can't go into a party or like a club and smoke a blunt or a J before. I feel like I'm such like a
Oh, yeah,
buzzkill
yeah,
Oh,
at that
definitely.
point.
Because at that point,
That's
you
a-
just
Yeah,
wanna go
yeah,
home.
maybe like in the middle of a party, I'm already lit. Like, you know, I had a few drinks in. I'm like, all right, let's go fucking smoke a blunt, come back in.
and then we do it.
Yeah, but it's just like I can't go into a party.
That's a good.
I feel like
that's-
alcohol
that
is
makes
definitely
sense.
more of a social drug. I would say that it's more of a social
I know
drug.
people though that smoke heavy before. going
Yeah,
to-
yeah, yeah. To each his own. But me personally,
I'm
I
just
feel like
like-
I shut down.
I'll
Like,
smoke halftime.
yeah, like when I'm like smoking, I'm chilling. I'm just
No, but you're right. Like your alertness isn't there. You're just kind of like in your zone.
You're drowsy.
Yeah,
You walk
yeah.
into the club drowsy. like,
Drowsy
damn.
sucks. Drowsy definitely
Yeah,
sucks.
but then the bottle's
unless you're home. Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
But I feel like because alcohol kind of like removes like the fear factor in you, because it's just like normally what you wouldn't do sober, you like a few drinks in, you're like, fuck it, we out.
Yeah.
It's like that's what I do enjoy about it. I
Nah,
feel like
definitely.
marijuana, like when I've been high, I'm like, damn. Like I overthink too much. I'm like, damn.
I feel that. You know.
Yeah.
It just time and place for specific things in moderation always. You know what I mean? It's the truth. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. All right. So
I think Tom Brady could win another Super Bowl.
I believe it's plausible.
It's possible, right?
this
Yeah.
year, even right? This year.
Hopefully this year. Even though Seahawks are looking good.
Giants
the
were playing
Chiefs.
really good, man. The
See,
Giants
that's what I'm
played.
saying. The Chiefs are always going to be there, bro.
Yeah.
Chiefs everybody's
Oh,
injured.
yeah. They were
Yeah.
blowing out. What team?
They're the new dynasty.
What
Yeah.
team did they blow out the other day? Like 43 something. The Jets or something? Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
poor Jets. Just so guys. But no, I'm saying the Giants played really good against Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
Bro, Daniel Jones
but
is
they
a monster. High key.
all the Giants games, they only lost by like 7
That's
points
what I've been
or
hearing a
less.
lot. There's
Yeah.
really a lot.
The
of
defense. I've heard good things about
Yeah,
their
that
defense.
defense is
I've seen it, bro. And it's
I've heard they're like 4th against the run, like
Yeah.
probably 10th against the pass. I'm like,
But
that's
Tom Brady is so good at what he does. That shit is
yeah,
ridiculous.
43 years old too, man. Sure.
It makes sense though. Like,
He could retire at 45 now. That's it.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he won one more. I would not be
This year
surprised.
he could do it.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
I don't know. The Chiefs are good. No, they're fucking amazing, right? The Chiefs are really fucking
Chiefs are amazing.
Who's gonna beat them?
The Ravens.
Yeah?
The Ravens, bro.
So it was funny because
Lamar
like
Jackson, right?
Lamar Jackson don't like to lose, bro.
That's a
even
fact.
though I don't like using fucking first take as a source because like it's all like subjective. It's all subjective.
My favorite source is watching the game.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know
definitely.
shit until I watch the game.
But one
Yeah.
thing I've heard about Lamar
Shout out to
Jackson
Dodgers.
is that like he's like 24-1 against against NFL teams, but he's like 0-5, 0-6 against teams like who have actually had like starters. Like kind of
Who?
like the Steelers.
So who are you talking about?
Lamar Jackson.
Oh,
So like one
okay.
thing that Stephen A was saying was that like Lamar Jackson, he's not that it factor. Like he'll be good against like most of the teams. Again, he's 24-1 against the league, but against like actual teams like that are like
is he
fully.
Andy Dalton in the playoffs? You know what I'm trying to say? He's gonna be. Andy
I think he
Dalton.
has
Every
like 2
year
or
he goes
3
to the
losses.
playoffs.
I think he has 2 or I think I don't. Maybe he has like 1 playoff win, 2 losses.
But you know what I'm trying to say though? Like, you know
Yeah.
how Andy Dalton is always going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's always AJ Green, him connect, and Dalton passes it. Good quarterback, but never does anything. Like, is that what Lamar Jackson's gonna be? You think so?
I guess that's what Stephen A was alluding to, where he's just like he has a good record against the rest of the league, but it's
Yeah.
just like against like those teams you need it, like against like the Chiefs, the Bucks, against the Seahawks, like against teams that are
go
well
further,
established
yeah.
that have like everything put and like
It's
they
like
have a
Andrew
culture.
Luck versus Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's not gonna happen, bro. Like, just retire because you're not gonna beat Tom Brady. You get what I'm trying to say with that type of stuff? It's
Yeah.
kind of like when you need to show up, like you, I mean, that's just most NFL teams. Like, you have a great season, but you just can't win at the playoffs. And some teams can break that barrier.
Yeah.
And it's either you're an established person like Tom Brady, or you're the Seahawks with that defense that year, or you're I forget a lot about football now, but you know, yeah, it's just. But if you're that stagnant team that's always there, aka the Cowboys, the Bengals, let's see, the Ravens, I guess to an extent, because they were really good for a bit. Let's see, like these are teams that will always make it just to the playoffs. Like Andy Dalton is the regular season god. You know, he's nice with it, but he's never gonna win a chip. And he's the backup quarterback for Cowboys, and now the active quarterback. And he got ripped the other day. He got fucking hit in the head. You remember that? That's terrible. So, damn, my dad just got hit. So, for me, Andy Dalton, like, he could be what Lamar Jackson is gonna be. He could be what Lamar Jackson might be if that's the case.
So since we were talking about football, who do you think had to do more with whose success? Do you feel like Tom Brady is the reason why like the Patriots were the Patriots, or do you feel like it was Bill Belichick?
Tom Brady throws the ball.
I'm always going with the player.
Yeah,
the coach does
throws
not
the
go
ball.
on the field, bro.
Yeah, Tom Brady throws the ball.
Coach and Bill Belichick's a defensive coach.
Yeah.
I didn't know that actually. That's crazy.
Yeah, he was a defensive coach.
He's a defensive coach. They had 6 Super Bowls, and all 6 of them were game-winning drives. By Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's some him shit. Like I think
That's Tom Brady hating to lose more than the other person.
Like, he needs to find a way. That's fucking crazy.
So
That shit
you guys
is
are saying Tom Brady had more to do with the Patriots' success than
Yeah, I mean,
Bill
also
Belichick.
like the Gronkowski and the what's the name, the guy with the red gloves.
But do you see how many different receivers he's throwing touchdowns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were
He
making
made
that
receivers
argument.
receivers.
He
That was
made
the argument.
receivers.
That's
That
right
was-
now. Not that they don't have a great receiver selection.
But look, Mike Evans is injured.
good.
Godwin just got back.
Yeah, they're recently about to get Antonio Brown.
Yeah. I think they signed him already.
They signed
Yeah,
him, and I guess.
Yeah, I think he gets activated either this Sunday or the following. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just like, a lot of people were saying like Tom Brady will get exposed once he goes to the Bucs because Bill Belichick has such a system there that anybody can thrive in that. And like what people were alluding to, the argument they were making was Matt Castle when Brady got injured and they went 11-5.
Yeah.
And
Matt
so
Castle.
somebody made that argument, and then I see
They didn't make the playoffs that year.
Yeah, they did. Well, didn't they lose like in the playoffs, or
Nah,
did they?
they didn't make the playoffs.
They
The Dolphins
yeah.
made the playoffs that year.
Yeah,
Tom Brady was in.
Shout out to Matt Flynn. I don't know. He's some random.
But somebody made the argument that like even though like
Seahawks, I think?
someone can make the argument about being a system quarterback,
Green Bay.
who Green Bay?
No, I'm
Matt
sorry.
Flynn.
Continue.
Matt Flynn.
Yeah.
Somebody was like that the following the season prior to Brady's injury. He did have Randy Moss, so like they were 16-0. That was a season.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, so everybody
Randy
was like,
Moss
you
is
still have the
fucking
same
crazy.
pieces from like that 16-0 team,
But I think at that point it's just like
and then Brady gets injured.
I think when it's one receiver to all right. So what do you think? What do you think that logic? What do you think about that logic?
Are you
in
guys watching the
basketball?
games today?
Yeah,
like
they have watched
Tom
a
Brady
couple.
throws the ball
Yeah,
like
he does.
a
Yeah,
monster.
man.
It's
Strategically
the
and
most
correctly,
catchable ball
yeah.
in like the NFL.
Like usually when it's not caught, it's the receiver's fault.
Like you see, like it's like every
Yeah.
throw is like here, like, hey,
Just
catch
catch
me.
it. Yeah.
There's no like.
Nah, but I don't mean this occasion. And what's his name? No, I'm talking.
Amendola.
Amendola. Yeah. No, I was thinking about the Giants catch with the helmet.
Oh, fucking Tyree.
Oh, yeah.
Tyree
I
Hill.
don't know. That's not Brady's.
No,
that would
is
have
that
been,
the
that
running
would've
back?
been 7 runs.
No, would have been. No, I'm just saying that was a crazy catch. But no, Tom Brady's also has some really great receivers, and Gronkowski is really a big reason. I don't know how correct I am, but I heard Eli Manning would have thrived if he had a better tight end. I heard he was a person that would throw to the tight end.
All he had was like fucking 10 Hall of Fame receivers. That's it, bro. Like
I've heard.
on each side, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
I've heard people make the same argument for Brady. Like, Brady would have done a lot better if he had like more options. Like,
Tom Brady doesn't need to do a lot better.
He just needs to be in the
He
field.
just needs to stay alive.
but I guess like that's the argument. Like, like think about it. Like, he's done so good with just these pieces. Like, imagine like with the roster he has now and
Or,
like
like-
the Bucks.
Do you think he's officially the best quarterback to have ever played in the NFL?
I think like it cemented that. Yeah, once you won the last Super Bowl, it's just like there's no ifs,
100%,
ands, or
me too,
buts.
me too.
Like you're telling me you've been to 9 Super Bowls and you've won 6. You've won 6.
Well, that's
won
not.
5.
I don't hate on LeBron
and you could
James.
have won 2
Yeah.
more.
LeBron James, how many finals he been?
Oh, he's been in like what?
10.
Like
10, and he's won 6 or 4.
He's won 4.
Those numbers hurt a little to me. But you show up at the playoffs.
But I still think that's a feat of its own. To like constantly like be in
No
like the
doubt.
finals. Yeah.
That's
Both the
seasons
best
worth.
team.
That's what I'm trying to say. And constant, like I know before it was a Cavs, right? And then now it's like Miami Heat and blah blah blah
Look,
blah blah. Like,
fuck Tom Brady in the Super Bowl rings, right? Look at the people he has to beat in the playoffs to get there.
Yeah, that's
every single time.
he does it. He
Like-
shows up. He shows up to.
He did
play.
beat the Seahawks.
He beat the Seahawks.
Yeah, number one ranked defense, yeah.
Jaguars, number 1 defense to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
the
playing in the
Raiders?
Seahawks Stadium where it's so loud there, bro? I heard it was so loud over there. You can't even hear your players.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Yeah.
and it was like a 10-point comeback in the fourth quarter.
Oh my god, that
Like
shit
you
was
feel me?
crazy,
And
yeah.
then that's when the intel happened. After that dropped, then
fuck man, football's amazing. Tom
What do you think
Brady's
would have happened had they gave the ball to Marshawn? Do you think we wouldn't?
Game
Yeah,
over.
yeah, game over.
Game over?
game over.
I do not understand why Russell threw that ball. I do not.
Not even. Like, so who do you put more fault on it for? Like the coach or like do you put it on?
At the end of the day, you throw the
Pete
ball.
Carroll?
At the end, can Russell Wilson call an audible?
I'm almost sure
all
he
I'm
can.
trying to
Yeah,
say. So at the end of the day, it's his fault. It's Russell Wilson's fault. Because fuck you telling me, oh, it's your fault because you told me to do it. Bitch, you are a professional person on the field. You didn't think that you had to run the ball with another down?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. That's a brain fart. It's a brain fart. That's a mistake Tom Brady would not make. Is what I'm trying to say. That's where players are really made. And Russell Wilson at that moment just fucked up. In my opinion, there was no need to throw that ball. What was it? Malcolm Brown, what's his name?
Malcolm Butler.
Sorry.
That fucking
Sorry,
interception.
Malcolm Butler. He fucking killed that shit, bro. That was like seeing Dos Santos get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
That was the first knockout I've seen in NFL.
Yeah.
Like, nope, right
That
there,
was
bro, right
wild,
fucking
yeah.
there in the end zone, bro.
It's third down, and it's just like, what do you what?
And at that point, do you think Russell Wilson wanted to have the game-winning touchdown?
No.
You know, I don't think he's that type of person, but maybe that could have been it. He's like, yeah, we're about to win, bro. I got this. You know.
Definitely, Marshawn would have been MVP had they won that game.
Marshawn is always MVP.
It definitely is always MVP.
Every single year.
Tom Brady beat the Chiefs.
He beat the Chiefs
in the playoffs.
That's so crazy.
Like, that is a feat of its own.
Game-winning drive.
I hope Tom Brady watches.
He converted like 3, 4th, and 15s in a row.
He's ridiculous.
You heard about that contract Mahomes got? Almost $500 million.
Even just
Like-
all the money in the world.
Like,
Good for him.
like the odds of him actually getting like that 415 million isn't like likely. Like, he'll still see like a good 400 million,
I
and
heard
he's
he's supposed to
guaranteed
be-
like 140 million.
See the numbers are talking.
Bro,
It's like
like-
baseball now. At this point.
That's the first time we've ever seen a contract like that. Like, he is definitely the highest.
But
paid
every
quarterback
year it's going
in
up.
history.
Though. Every year, like Matthew Stafford at one point.
Would you
shout out to
invest
the
in
Lions.
Mahomes? Is what I'm saying. Would you give him $500 million contract?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't see him going far.
10 years, bro.
I think there's one thing about him being great, but there's another thing about the Chiefs maintaining that greatness. I don't know shit about the Chiefs, but all I gotta say is that like there are great quarterbacks in the NFL, fantastic ones, and Matt Holmes is really good. But his team has to be good with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at the Seahawks defense deteriorate after a couple of years. You got what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And shout out to Percy Harvin for that run back, that 102.
Yo, against the
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
Broncos Super Bowl. What was it?
I forget, but that hey man, it was cool. And Team Tebow for throwing that
Damn,
game-winning
Tebow.
Steelers overtime.
Yo,
touchdown.
I remember that.
Tebow fucking time. Yeah, man. So it just takes balls to go out there and play that fucking game, man. Honestly speaking, so shout outs to these motherfuckers.
Oh,
Mayweather.
so since we're talking about sports and we're talking about like, I feel like we've been like spoiled with athletes. Like we had,
Oh, yeah,
we had
hell
Mayweather,
yeah.
we have Pacquiao, we have like,
Hell yeah.
we have like Khabib, we have like a lot
The
of
humans
like
have always there's just more
LeBron James.
cameras. I think it's more cameras today.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's what it is. Because
So-
there's always been great players.
Do you
And science too. Science is
would you ever put LeBron James in front of Michael Jordan? Never. And what's your argument for that? Like somebody's like, yo, like you know.
I think you don't need to. That's my opinion.
There's no argument. There's an argument between Michael Jordan and LeBron James.
I don't follow basketball like that, so I can't keep up with stats. But like, I feel like 11 like, well, what is it? NBA Finals appearances or 10? I think
10.
that's. And
Michael
for
Jordan has 6 rings, right?
Yeah, so
And he's
has
undefeated, yeah.
So
But-
he has 6 final appearances.
But didn't he get like a
No,
lot of people make
he
arguments?
never lost in the finals.
No, he retired those 2 years that in the gaps that he didn't go to.
But
So
I've heard
he's
he's gotten
never lost
swept
in the
like
final?
in like the playoffs. Like I've heard he like against the Knicks, I believe. I heard he got swept, like him. But I heard he's undefeated in the finals. Like,
Bro,
I think that's
nah.
still a feat.
If
like,
you're undefeated in the finals, you're the best.
Yeah.
LeBron James, first of all, that's the one thing about LeBron
And you're the
James
best
that
player
gets
6
me.
times.
LeBron James has, and there's no fault to him that there's a lot of talent around him, but there's so much talent around this guy, especially like, he's like the Spurs. Yo, shout out to the Spurs, bro, for the fucking work and everything. Did they? I don't know. But
LeBron folds in big moments, bro.
that's the truth. And
That's why I
the
can't
truth.
like.
You can't blame it on his team at that point. And this is not to take away from him. It just separates him a lot. From
Who's a
Michael
better
Jordan.
scorer, Kevin Durant or LeBron James?
I feel like I would put the ball in Durant's hands
Oh,
more.
but
Yeah.
That's already why.
But who's gonna
LeBron's
get the
not
foul
better
every
than
single
Michael
time?
Jordan?
What?
LeBron. Who's gonna get the foul?
Who's gonna get the foul every time?
LeBron
LeBron.
James.
But who's
Yep.
gonna shoot that 3 though?
And make it. You know what I
And
mean?
make it.
Ginobili.
no way. Or Danny Green,
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen. Oh
Ray
my
Allen.
God, that was
Oh
such.
my
You
God,
see-
the
you
GOAT.
see,
Yeah,
like,
he's the
shout
best.
out
Like
to-
people hate so much. They're like the only reason LeBron got that. Like I've heard people say it. The only reason
Alright,
LeBron got
Kyrie,
they're like
Kyrie,
Ray Allen.
Kyrie with the game 7.
Yeah, they were
biggest
like
shot
Kyrie.
thinking finals.
What about
history.
Damian Lillard with the fucking
Oh,
game?
no.
Leonard, yeah.
Come on, man.
Paul
That shit
George.
was nasty.
So-
George
That
Paul.
shit was nasty.
So I don't feel like people.
The second
I don't feel like people give LeBron enough credit for him having to like go out and search for a better team.
I think
Because
that-
like think about it, like
What
when he
credit-
first
that's
came
what
in
I'm
like the
saying.
league,
There's no
when he
credit to
first
give.
came in the league, like think about it, like Cleveland wasn't building around
If
a
you're
team
talking
around
about
him.
like the greatest human in basketball, I'll be like, yeah, LeBron's a great human being. But I'm talking about like the skill, the actual put that ball in the hoop. Allen Iverson is up there for me. Kobe.
Definitely Kobe. Yeah.
But you know, a lot of people talking shit about Kobe when he was retiring. Apparently,
Who's-
a lot of people.
Who's
talking
winning
about shit.
one-on-one? Kobe or LeBron?
Michael Jackson.
I feel like I would put Kobe, but man, like how much does LeBron weigh? Like 240, 250?
That's
Who the
also
fuck
a
is
big
stopping
factor.
that? Like,
That's the main thing.
and
about
he's
it.
like what 6'9",
This
bro.
motherfucker is a wall.
But Kobe would stop that. That's.
I feel like I would put like if it were one-on-one Durant and LeBron, I'd put my money on LeBron. Like in a
No,
one-on-one,
no,
but I feel like
Durant.
but I feel like in a team sport.
Oh no, one-on-one.
You know, one-on-one.
You wouldn't want to do that.
I don't one-on-one against Durant, bro.
I feel like
did you see the
I
finals?
think Durant would take that shit.
Did you see the finals, bro? What he did to LeBron?
I just think
Which
Durant's
one?
a smarter.
You're
He's
talking
not a
about like
smart
when
player. He
when
just
he was
shoots
on the
better.
Warriors.
When he was on the Warriors.
You also have to remember, man, he's got like he has arguably the greatest 3-point or just free just like
all right, but KD went to the finals when he was a little younger. Like he was like 23.
with the Thunder, right?
With the Thunder, and who they went? The Super Team. They went
Yeah.
against fucking LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris
Bosh.
Bosh.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's karma.
Yeah.
That's karma full circle. Like, all right, now I'm gonna go one-on-one against
Yeah.
you with a team now. Like,
There's a lot of chances LeBron has given up, and bro, just 10 times you show up and 4 times you lose, 6 times you lose, right?
yeah, 6 times.
That's a
bro.
lot, man. That's a lot.
bro.
I respect going to the first period. I respect you playing basketball, period. Especially professional, especially in the
And do you
setting,
really count this
climate.
ring?
With the
Yeah,
bubble, like
with AD.
Maybe.
Like, do you count this ring because of COVID?
I count it.
I feel like I do
It's
count it.
basketball
Like,
at the end of the day. It's still hustle. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like what changed really? You know?
Lockdown.
yeah, did
Niggas
a lot of
can't
people
ball
opt out? Did people opt out of the NBA season? Like where certain players were like, "Yo, I'm not doing this."
Yeah,
I
there
know
was a-
people in the NFL did.
I was
It
telling
started with like
folks
22 teams. I think it was 22 teams when it started again.
Like I heard, like at least for like going back to football, like on the Patriots, I heard like 8 people opted out of the season. They were like, "Yeah, nah, I'm not doing this." 'cause of
Smart.
COVID."
Or they
Man.
caught it. They caught it mid-season. I think a couple players.
That's
caught
probably
it.
what it is, man. I know this guy on the Celtics. What's his name? Ryan Howard, right? The white guy, right? Was that his name? Ryan Howard?
The white guy.
Tall.
Hayward.
yeah. What's his name?
Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
And Ryan Howard. Gordon Hayward was having a child, and he chose to stay playing basketball rather than go see his child.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. You know, respect. You know, you do what you
Yeah.
gotta do. And first of all,
To each his own, man. But
yeah. There's nothing there. Right there. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna see my baby.
Yeah, you
I'm gonna see
fucking
that.
Gordon Howard, Ryan Hayward.
You're only born once, man. You're only
That's a
born once.
fact, bro. And you lose so many times. So. Lesson learned. That's fucking crazy,
Are
bro.
you putting LeBron ahead of Kobe or not?
Putting LeBron in front of Isaiah Thomas, because you know that's
Yo,
arguable.
Isaiah Thomas was nice for that like
He
1
was
year
nice. Then they immediately.
When he was on the
dirty.
Cavs?
on the Celtics.
NBA.
Oh yeah.
That was sad. But there was a lot of emotional ties to him being like, well, it really wasn't the case. Like,
Yeah.
it's not because you're going through tough times we're releasing him. It's because times is changing.
He's little, man. He's like 9.
Yeah, man. But he shot the. He could get in the paint, right?
You know, he could drive.
He was like Nate Robinson to an extent.
Like Nate Robinson, yup.
Like he could do it, but it's not what he was doing.
But it was just, bro, he was shooting a lot. He was
and missing a lot.
And missing a lot too.
That's what I thought about. What's his name? Russell Westbrook is who I think about when I think about like shooting a lot. And missing a lot. I think he's great. He's one of my favorite players to play. To be honest with you, one of my favorite players. But that was my initial. Like, when I saw, I was like, this guy fucking shoots all the time.
So
and
necessary.
misses it.
Oh, misses it, bro.
Like especially in Oklahoma City. So, and then you can see his art in several times, but there's always this backlash, and I don't know what it's due to.
Not gonna lie, I can't wait till COVID's over because I feel like Brooklyn got we have a pretty good squad, man. We have
Okay.
Kyrie, we have Durant. Who else do we have? It's
No,
like,
we need Lance Stevenson.
we need Lance Stevenson.
Come to Brooklyn, Lance Stevenson.
He's from Brooklyn too.
Oh
Come
yeah,
back from
he's
China.
Oh, nice. He went to China. Yeah, he played for a
China.
while. That's awesome. China.
Fucking China.
He has stayed there for how long? A year or so, something like that. Right
He
before.
did, and they got signed again, right?
Man, he was nice with it over there too. Man.
I mean,
I don't know.
duh.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
nah, of course, but why though? Why do that for the experience, like of the media, I guess, and just the life and change. Put yourself somewhere else, you know, or like survive with a team that's not so good. Like make it work, make the people around you better. You know, go challenge yourself. I know it's not hard to beat Lance Stevenson as a basketball player over there in the Chinese league, but it's also just like, I don't know, it must be challenging to leave your home and life, you know, for a whole year and in a different area of the world, you know what I mean? Just, you know, so
Completely a cultural shock.
So that's harder than playing basketball. You know, for me, that's the more difficult thing. So it's a much wiser approach, and I think it's like Lomachenko dancing for a bit before fully going through training. I applied something to his doing. Oh, what the fuck?
He shot his 6-1 up.
Yeah. Yeah, man. This is round 11 of 12. Oh shit, yo. One more round. Wrap it up after this one more round.
Yeah, we got this.
With this shit. Okay, how long have we shown? Who? Yeah, let me know, bro. Not today, though. Fucking. Yeah, man. It's a little chilly out here right now.
Can't believe they took down the hoops though. Like I know, like in Portsmouth, and the hoops are still up. That's one.
They're still down over here.
No. It was just crazy. That whole Corona shit was.
The people getting tickets in the handball courts.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Arrested for not wearing a mask or some shit.
Some stupid shit. Man, I don't know. To me, it's really fucking crazy. I really hope. When is this gonna stop? Like, when the fuck are we gonna start wearing masks?
I guess the world's cleaner now. Can't leave something. Like, people, you gotta disinfect everything. Trains are much cleaner.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely wash my hands and like my personal belongings way more than I did before. Like, yeah.
Hell yeah. And this sucks that it's because we're scared that we're gonna die if we don't, you know. But I guess you're right. The world is cleaner.
People just gotta take it serious. I feel like this country is too entitled. It's like, man, I don't want to wear a mask, and it's just like people coming up with like pseudoscience, like, oh, it's just bad for your health, and it's just like, bro, where the fuck? I don't want to wear it either. Like, I think masks are fucking dumb, but I'm like, in order to get through it, it's like, yeah, wear the fucking mask, man. Just
it's like if you're wearing a scarf, you can wear a mask. Truly,
somebody wants to wear it, just wear it.
I hate wearing that shit at the gym.
Yeah, it's the worst when you're fucking training. Like,
you gotta wear where you're training, right? Oh,
bro, like, and think about it, when you inhale like through your mouth, like the mask gets sucked in, bro. You don't realize how salty your sweat is until you like have a whole mask full of sweat.
It's hard to breathe. You're trying to get your breath, and it's like,
Jesus Christ, that must suck ass. I find it kind of dumb that when they're boxing in the ring, that the ref has to wear a mask, but the fighters don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? That sucks for the ref, bro. Like, you know, like that just is not necessary. So, in this fight, would you say Maidana's winning, losing, or would you
no, he definitely lost the fight.
He definitely lost the fight.
Yeah,
he's bugging.
Yeah.
He's kind of just trying to knock him out, but he's not doing nothing. And people say that Mayweather runs a lot, but that's how he is.
It's not even running. Just people. That's boxing. It's just like people don't appreciate it. It's just like what people call boxing. What people call running, other people call boxing, and it's just like
what boxers call boxing. You know?
Yeah.
I would assume so, man. Yeah.
And I never really understood like the idea or the notion of like, yo, just stand in front of me so I can hit you, just so I won't consider you like a pussy or a runner. And it's just like, nah, bro. It's like, hit me. It's like, catch me if you can.
Honestly,
that's
played me so tough.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you fight somebody. That comes into play.
Yeah.
Right now, all I see here is Maidana trying.
Yeah.
And Mayweather is succeeding, comfortable. He's not tired like the Maidana. God damn, I can't imagine fighting Mayweather. That shit must really be intimidating.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Mayweather said that he doesn't smoke and drink, and so they compete.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah,
and they
I believe it.
Retired on the field.
So does Trump. Trump never said. Trump has never smoked and drink. It's a correlation. No, he really has never smoked and drank alcohol. He thinks it deteriorates the brain or some shit.
He does.
I feel like he's done so much of it. That's why he is the way he is.
Trump is a clown.
Really
I can't
is.
believe he was able to
All of it?
press it.
You should check your phone. Can you check the election?
Yeah, it's still fucking 4. Yeah, it's still like 4.
Come on, Nevada, bitch ass Nevada. Just kidding.
Yo, bro, they've been on 76% for like.
I know. But it did go up. It was at like 60 something before. So right now, let's finish off with this because the election is coming to a close. And so is this match. And so is this show. it's looking like, Biden, unless Trump pulls out some crazy shit, pulls out the hook, the uppercut like Davis did. You know what I mean?
I heard Joe Biden was with him.
Huh?
I heard Joe Biden was with him.
Yeah, he is.
He's doing pretty good. All he needs is Nevada right now. And even I think Georgia was, it was going back and forth and everything.
So right now Biden's in the lead with 264 votes, and you need 270 to win. And
Yeah,
Nevada is
six.
it's that final 6.
And even if Trump got Pennsylvania,
North Carolina, and Georgia,
if he gets those 3, he's still at 265. He would still need to get Nevada. Isn't that crazy? So like Nevada would have to really
Go all out for Trump.
But that's looking like it's not happening. Hopefully. But look at Mayweather with the red hat.
With the MAGA hat.
Dang, it's crazy how they don't even look tired. You know what I mean? Did that as 12 rounds. What is it? 5 minutes each? 8 minutes?
3 minutes each. So that's 36 minutes of just fighting. I'm telling you that. Just 3 minutes alone is like huge.
Word. You throw your hands for 3 minutes, you just like,
Yeah.
damn, hold up.
And all you get is a minute break.
Taking deep ass breaths, bro.
Alright, yo. So ultimately, today is October what?
Today is October 5th.
And it's been a beautiful day. November. Oh, yo, I keep thinking it's October. November 5th. It's been a beautiful day. It's been awesome. Both of you guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for what's in the
having
poll.
me.
Yeah, man. Anything you want to say lastly?
Wear your fucking mask.
Wear your mask. Let's do it. Cheese, man. Shout outs to Christ. And yeah, man. I hope you guys have a good night or day.
Fuck a RapStar. I got bigger shit to worry about than all these fast cars. Waiting on me till I make it, but I'm back gone.